Get your fashion fix this autumn at very.co.uk. From faux fur coats and metallic mini bags for that touch of glam, to dazzling sequin dresses and mirror shine brogues, just made for the spotlight. And order before 7 p.m. to get it delivered free the next day to a Collect Plus store near you. Check out the season's latest looks at Very. Get more out of every day with very.co.uk.
Pat, slap my ass! It's time for conversation with the big guy, pal!
Wake up! It's feeding time!
Welcome to Conversation with the Big Guy. I am the big guy, Ryback, and unfortunately, I am not sitting here with the one Pat Buck. I gotta say, this is quite strange. It's a little uncomfortable. I don't have my best friend, my manager, my partner in crime sitting across from me, across country usually, but via FaceTime sitting across from me. Unfortunately, I know this may be hard news for some of you to accept, but the big guy botched. That's right. He botched pretty damn bad this time. You see, we recorded about 45 to 50 minutes of content the other night, and somehow my podcast equipment came unplugged. And in that process, when we took our first break, in which everything was still functioning just fine, and made ourselves another drink, and I came back and we started recording. About a minute in, I look down and see that the old equipment is shut off. And I go, oh no. And Pat goes, what's going on? And I look at the outlet, because I always have this thing plugged in, which I have batteries in it too. But somehow it came unplugged. And I've tried to blame the dogs, little guy or Sophie, possibly the mother when I was gone during the weekend wrestling, coming out here cleaning. Good possibility maybe she unplugged it. But I think this could have possibly have just been my fault. And I can't pinpoint anybody else. So I have nobody but me to blame. And due to our schedules, we both keep pretty busy schedules. Pat's a full-time married man running WrestlePro and training his students, driving in that shitty New York traffic constantly, hopefully listening to audiobooks, learning in that process. But he was unable to be here for the show opening, in which I said, no problemo, buddy. The big guy has you covered. I honestly tried everything, though, to get those 45 minutes back. Me and our editor, Shining Wizard Eddie, going back and forth. Me and Pat going back and forth. And yeah, it'll be fine. We'll get it figured out. And deep down, I knew that footage was fucking lost forever. Because when I downloaded it to the computer, it was showing a big fat 0 on the memory. And that's never a good thing. And tried a couple things. And we were unable to get it, and I apologize for everybody out there because it was probably the greatest 45 minutes we've ever had. And if I'm lying, you'll never know. But I want to choose to believe that it was the greatest 45 minutes me and Pat have ever had back and forth, just talking, sharing our week, our life's events. And I botched. So, guys, I'm sorry. I believe this is the beginning, though, of our relationship with Midroll. I'm really, really excited about that. I'd like to thank Audio Boom for almost a year. Just leave it at that. Thank you, Audio Boom. And I'm looking forward to being with Midroll here and moving upwards and onwards, as they say. So with that said, I would like to wish everybody a happy Labor Day out there. And be safe. Have fun. I had a great week. I'm not going to drag this out as we usually do with me and Pat going back and forth. This is, I want to say thank you to SCW Pro Wrestling, Seth Rollins, Black and Brave Wrestling Academy in Davenport, Iowa. This is his partner's promotion. So it was really cool for me to be able to go out there and wrestle at the legendary Call Ballroom, where Elvis has played, and many, many, many more greats from what they were telling me. And great turnout. Thank you for everybody who came out there. This time away from WWE is giving me a great opportunity to do a lot of independent shows, and I'm not gonna bullshit you. The independents are not the WWE, but I have been able to, fortunately, through being able to keep my name and my brand, and you people being interested, make a very, very, very good living on the independents, and meet a lot of you out there, and kind of just slow down and not be so rushed all the time. And it used to be I was on the road 5 days a week and home a day and a half, and now I'm home more so 5 days a week and on the road 1 or 2 days, and it's a nice change of pace, and I'm very thankful for the opportunities each and every week that I've been allowed to come out and perform in front of you. And it's a big thank you to SCW Pro Wrestling. You guys are a hell of a promotion. I now know why Seth Rollins is affiliated with you, and had a hell of a time. Wrestled Big Mason Beck, and I had a lot of fun out there with the big guy, the other big guy. And even though he chose to go the low road and eye rake me, then low blow me, not just fucking one thing, guys. He eye raked me, and then he low blowed me for the disqualification. But he made the big mistake of coming back to try to pick the bones. And if you know anything about Ryback, you know he recovers really, really fast. And luckily I was able to recover in that period of time and give him the old boot ski and a shell shock to go home happy. Just me, nobody else. Anyways, thank you to SCW Pro Wrestling. And for everybody out there, Northeast Wrestling, I was supposed to be on their show last week. It was a Sunday show. I believe they had Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho did a signing appearance. So it would have been cool to have made that. Unfortunately, we made a mistake on our end by not getting a deposit from the promoter, in which we've done a lot of business with Big Mike, but he kind of fucked us over on this one. And there were some requirements that we've had as far as opponents and working guys, lighter guys. And he chose, after agreeing to it, not to agree to it. And it was just one of those deals that I'm better safe than sorry at this point in time. And fortunately enough, I don't need the money as far as having to make these shows every week. And I'm thankful to have the business and other revenue streams coming in to where I have the choice to say no when I want to say no. But I'm sorry for everybody who came out there. He advertised me all month, and then he pulled out. And that was his choice, but that was our fault for not getting a deposit. And then in the world of wrestling, old Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's never fucking wrong, guys. When he says DTA, don't trust anybody, you can't trust anybody. And we will no longer be doing business without a deposit from Big Mike in Northeast Wrestling. But I do enjoy working for him. He runs good shows. He just pulled a little carny shit act on this one, but all is forgiven. And it's been a great week. A lot of questions coming in on the Feed Me More Nutrition with the Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner. Labels are completed, guys, and they are just now. They are getting those printed, and the bottles have to be labeled, and they will be shipped out. And we should hopefully be off and running anytime. It's just all this stuff. It got delayed when I switched manufacturers, and when I switched from New York to California for logistics and shipping reasons, and to save, because this company's superior out of California. So I'm really, really happy to be working with them. I've been asked quite often, what other formulas do you have coming out? And just to kind of give you guys a heads up in what I'm doing, rather than, I've seen this mistake happen with other supplement companies, and they'll come out and they'll release 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things right off the bat, and that's all fine and dandy. I kind of just wanted to let this thing grow, put out my 3 essential ones, and then start the process of releasing one after the other to kind of keep it exciting and to let it grow organically and naturally. And that is exactly what is happening. And I can't thank you guys enough. But The next one after Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner will be the Branch Chain Amino Acid Electrolyte Pump Mix. I also have a ZMA Sleep Aid coming out. Weight Gainer, also, again, everything sweetened with stevia. We have the multivitamin coming out, a joint and tendon formula, and a brain formula. Along with also, once this is all to a certain comfortable level, the proteins I'll be making available in the 5-pound tubs, along with the Weight Gainer after the 2-pound releases, kind of let them get over, and then we go ahead and we expand upon that, and it's really cool and really fun for me to be doing this. The supplement industry, it's filled with a lot of shit, guys, and this is what has always bothered me. Like I've always told you, the world revolves around making money. Unfortunately, the supplement industry, they found that keeping the formulas dirt cheap and promising health and all this other stuff and a better body through different chemicals and different supplements, that they had great profit margins, and they don't care they're selling you shit. And that's not to say every company's doing that, but there's a lot of them doing it. And that was, for me, why I started creating my own formulas years ago, is because I would look at a lot of this stuff and look at the prices I was paying on it, and well, that shit has poison in it, and none of those, that has that chemical in it, and that has that thing in it, that stimulant in it, and that stuff's not good for you. So why am I taking this? It makes absolutely no sense. And I'm sure they don't like guys like me coming along, because straight up, everything is about making money in this world, but I believe doing it in the best way possible is the greatest thing to do. Sell or be sold, but when you're going to sell the appropriate way. Sell what you believe in, sell your passion, and sell with responsibility. And that is what Feed Me More Nutrition is. So thank you guys for hopping on this journey with me, and just going one day at a time. And your Amazon reviews are greatly appreciated. If you purchase the supplements, blah, 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 blah. A little tongue twister right there. If you purchase the supplements on Amazon, please leave a review, guys. It greatly helps the cause. And I'm really excited about all this. I can't wait to get this fat burner out. You guys are going to love it. Weight training this week, everything with the back and shoulder. I'm beyond thankful. This doctor that I came across here in Las Vegas, Dr. Baumgartel with Nevada Spine Clinic, he has essentially given me a new body after I avoided surgery, and through the use of stem cells, fat cells and bone marrow stem cells, my back has never felt better. And I can't, it's been years since my back has felt this good. And I still have about 4 months to go as far as the stem cells working and regenerating. So it's really exciting to see progress this fast, and to be able to return to the ring and feel good doing it and not be in pain. It's when you're in pain, I can't, especially if you have back pain out there, it fucking sucks. It's, it kind of just weighs you down in all areas of life. And I always remain optimistic and positive, but it's now feeling this good. It just makes me realize how thankful I am to be alive during this period of time where, if this was just 5 years ago, this isn't an option for me. So it's thank you to Dr. Baumgartel. The shoulder is improved so much, and it was that was in really, really rough shape, as I've told you guys, and the cartilage is regrowing around the shoulder joint, but that cracking and everything I was getting has been greatly diminished, and I'll probably end up doing one more round towards the end of the year, but not stopping anything, just getting, so I have 6 more months of healing, and to just kind of let it just keep healing while I'm doing my thing. And so if you have any knee, back, shoulder injuries, and my insurance covered this, check with your insurance company, look for a good stem cell doctor. They're everywhere now, and look for that bone marrow stem cell treatment, guys. I'm telling you, they don't cut you open. It's just injections. They put you under typically, but you wake up and you feel like you're a little out of it from the anesthesia and everything. But it's makes me glad I did everything I did, just getting away, walking away when I did last year to do what I'm doing. And obviously, this stuff was not expected. I thought with some time off, this stuff would kind of just go away. That wasn't the case. And it's good I got to address all this and just get everything all fixed up because it's going to, I'm 35. I got a lot of years ahead of me. And essentially, those were the only two issues I had going on. And now the back is completely healed. And the shoulder, I would say, is 75, 80% as far as the work capacity on it. So it's exciting things are in store for the big guy moving forward as far as wrestling goes and what I choose to do with that moving forward. I should touch on, it's been some time, we had the old dating tales of the big guy there for a while, and obviously me and Priscilla, the ex, we were kind of on and off, and I was trying to make that whole situation work for little Sonny. I love that little guy more than anything, but sometimes when two people are not meant to be together, you just can't force it. And even if there's an amazing little dog in the mix, and hopefully one day Sonny will be back as far as being allowed to have him here on a more regular basis. But the big guy's search for love continues. And I'm actually getting ready to, after I get done recording here, I got to go pick up a lovely, beautiful woman named Paloma that I have been talking to for a while. And I actually met her during a WWE Fan Access WrestleMania in San Jose. And when we were in that San Francisco, San Jose area a couple, 2-3 years back. And just always stayed in contact. And we decided she actually lives in Orlando. And you figured, what the hell? You only live once. What the fuck am I waiting for right now? So we're flying her out here for a few days, spend Labor Day with her. Going to go to the Chappelle show here and tomorrow evening and just see how that all works out. It's all about repetitions. You just got to put yourself out there, and because the big guy refuses just to settle down with anyone. So hopefully Miss Paloma is in store for a great time here. I don't know what I just meant when I was saying that. Jesus Christ, that came off completely awkward and wrong. But outside of that, guys, I would like to throw in a little plug for the Feed Me More merchandise on Amazon. We have a lot of cool designs on there. If you type in Feed Me More on Amazon, all the different shirts will pop up. Or if you just click on one of the shirts and then click on the Feed Me More highlighted area on that page, when you click on a shirt, all the other shirts will come up under one page for you there. And we have more designs being worked on all that. So, but we have a lot of the Feed Me More nutrition stuff along with some of the wrestling shirts on there as well. And with that being said, guys, we'll get some real plugs in here. And Pat Buck, it was his turn to pick the song. And, you know, I could have done things my way here since he's not here. Oh, what song do you want to listen to, Pat? Huh? I can't hear you. But rather than being that way, he went with Chariots of Fire. So Shining Wizard Eddie, if you could fire up those chariots for the big guy, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. For all fan mail, please send it to P.O. Box 752-740, Las Vegas, Nevada 89136. Feed Me More Nutrition, available on Amazon, feedmemore.com, and in Las Vegas at Spartan Nutrition and Wise Chiropractic. We have some great specials still going on feedmemore.com. Those aren't going to be lasting too much longer. We're going to be discontinuing some of like the buy one protein, get the other one half off, or buy the Wake Up Unlimited Energy and get a free shaker bottle. Those are still going on. The buy 3 test boosters, get the 4th free, and save some money on feedmemore.com. But as always on Amazon, you got the free Amazon Prime shipping on there. So check those out, guys. I greatly appreciate you supporting the cause. Wake Up, It's Feeding Time, the motivational book by myself, the big guy Ryback Reeves, available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Audible form. Be sure to check out, I got the new workout shorts and pants, the Feed Me More Nutrition workout shorts and pants up on feedmemore.com, along with the tank tops as well. We got the new Feed Me More goal boards on Amazon. Those are $15.99 now. and you get the free Prime shipping, so you can save on shipping. If you have goals, visions, you want to write them down and hang it up. They're great for kids, teaching them the importance of setting goals. If you just want to write it in a notebook and that works for you, that's just fine as well. I like to personally hang things up, and I've had great success doing that. Fuel Meals, my personal meal prep service. You can save 10% with discount code TheBigGuy. Their website, guys, is fuelmeals.com. Discount code TheBigGuy to save 10%. Holosync Meditation, the meditation program I use by Bill Harris, who's also in The Secret. I've used it for years since my ankle injury. That link is up at feedmemore.com. The official Feed Me More Nutrition Facebook is at Feed Me More Nutrition, and follow us on Twitter for this podcast at CWTBG. We've got 2 shows coming up this week, which Pat, I'll make sure he goes ahead and gets those in there for WrestlePro, Friday, September 8th and Friday, September 9th. Create a Pro Wrestling School Friday, September 8th, and we're in Rahway, New Jersey, Friday, September 9th. We got Bobby Lashley, Tommy Dreamer, Hornswoggle, and myself, and I'm actually taking on AR Fox for that one. I'm really, really excited about that, and I'm a big fan of AR Fox's, and think we could really, really do some cool stuff together. So, and I'm going to beat the living shit out of him. So it's that's what we got coming up, guys. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to take a break right here, and when we come back, me and the Buckster will be reunited, probably 2 drinks deep, and you'll hear the change in tone. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
If you're anything like us, you like to enjoy a nice ice cold soda every now and then, but you hate the empty calories and artificial sweeteners that come with it. With Zevia, you don't have to pick your poison. You won't feel awful worrying about the potentially stupid harmful side effects, because with Zevia, there are none. Zevia uses the all-natural sweetener stevia and doesn't have any caramel coloring either. Ew. The result is a delicious and safe soda with none of the nasty stuff. Zevia has 14 flavors of soda, 4 flavors of sparkling water, and 4 flavors of awesome energy drinks. This is the naturally sweetened pop you and your family will crave. And Zevia is giving you the opportunity to try their products for yourself for free. That's right, for free. If you live in the US or Canada, just go to Zevia.com/podcast and sign up. And they'll mail you a coupon for a free 6-pack. What are you waiting for? Head to Zevia.com/podcast and get your hands on some ASAP. Don't forget to tell them Mark for Life sent ya.
All right, we're back, and hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties from earlier, and we'll get the issue we had resolved.
One of the Rybackers out there alerted me to something on Twitter. So I've only gotten 4 pieces of fan mail my entire life. They've actually sent them to my school because, I mean, why would I? They're not going to know where I live. I don't have the exposure. You know, I was never in a major wrestling company. This arrived at the school the other day, and mind you, most of the letters that come in are most time for Hawkins. But then I see my name's on it. So I'm like, oh, what is this? A bill? And I open it up. Here's the letter. Let me read this on air because it was a very nice letter. Dear Mr. Pat Buck, my name is Todd Hamilton. Now, that made me laugh because there is a movie called Todd Hamilton. But I assume that's this guy's real name because he signs it on the bottom. So anyway, my name is Todd Hamilton, and I've been a big professional wrestling fan since 1992. I am 30 years old. I remember hearing about you training in OVW about a decade ago. I saw you compete a couple times as an enhancement talent for WWE against Crime Time in 2009. I best remember you as the co-owner of PWS. I came to a couple shows in 2014 and 15 in the Rec Center in Rahway, and even came to a show in July 2015. From my understanding, the company is gone or has been renamed. I was very confused and sad about this, but I believe you are still involved in the wrestling business. If you do compete, please tell me what organizations you compete in, because I'd love to attend more wrestling shows. And then he puts over PWS and said he had a great time coming to the shows. I hate current WWE. I stopped watching around 2010. Indie wrestling's much more better. Please sign my card and sign with and the side with the ring. You can fill out the back if you want to with your name. If you have anything extra you want to give me, such as a signed card, I'd appreciate that. Thanks for your time, Mr. Buck. Todd Hamilton. So I was like, oh, what a nice little thing. He found the school. He wrote me a letter. and I made sure I signed the little card. So I sent this thing back, and I thought nothing of it. And I felt bad because it was in my car for a couple weeks. But then I was like, oh fuck, let me mail this. So I mail it. So one of the Rybackers online, his name's Chris Mercado 23. Thank you. He's on Twitter. He goes, hey Pat, I saw this on a forum page, a wrestling autograph forum page. Apparently you're a jobber with a terrible signature. People are unappreciative. So this motherfucker goes on a wrestling autograph forum, and here's the subject. It says Wrestling Collectors by Wrestle Vessel, which apparently is Todd Hamilton. I got my autograph back from that jobber Pat Buck today. Terrible signature too. And then it says that he mailed it on July 19th and received it August 28th. The guy wrote a fucking printed letter, finds my school, sends it to the school, has gone to my shows before, puts in a little autograph card, gets it back, and then goes online to tell people that I'm a fucking loser and my signature sucks. I was trying to find this guy all day on Facebook, like this motherfucker, Todd Hamilton in New Jersey. It just kicked me in the dick. I was like, wow, this is genuine. You know, I've only gotten a couple of these things before. It's really nice. And then, fucking A, man. Piece of shit. I'm assuming, I hope he gets a nice little paper cut on the autograph I signed for him. And his fat diabetic fingers get cut off. Ugh. Fuck you, Todd. Stupid name.
Do we have any news this week, Pat, in the wrestling world?
Well, I'm not sure. We spent the last 10 minutes trying to figure out how we're going to avoid a panic attack, hoping we didn't lose the first 50 minutes of the show. Did we talk about the boxing yet? I don't know.
No, we were about to get into it, and then I looked down and my podcast equipment was completely shut off, and the plug was out of the wall, and we just recorded, I think, 45 or 50 minutes, and it was working. Everything was on, and we had to just take a quick time out and go back, and it's showing that the podcast, the file exists that I recorded on, but nothing is there. So we have our work cut out for this later. If not, I apologize. You guys are going to hear me talking for 20 or 30 minutes this week to start the show all by myself because I'm not going to drag you back into this. This is my biggest fear doing this. That we do this, and it's such a real, natural conversation. I hate, let's be honest, we hate each other completely. We don't ever want to do this more than once every week.
By this point, yeah. It's been a year.
Yeah. Sorry. It's you're married to two different people in two different ways. So, no, but man, hell of a fight this past week, huh?
Yeah, I had fun watching it. I mean, it was a spectacle, and I think, again...
Where'd you watch it at?
I was over in Fire Islands. It's islands. We took the boat over, we rented a house, and watched it with a bunch of people.
All Irish people?
No. It was a mixed bag of people. I'm trying to think. I don't know what people's... Maybe it was all white. One white, one Hispanic. There you go. But we just watched the fight, and I enjoyed it. The thing, we tried watching on the UFC app, and that crashed. So we were all...
I heard about that, actually, yeah.
I was watching 3/4 of the fight through my phone on Periscope of watching...
Really?
Yeah. I that's like the easiest way to steal or stream. We were trying to give our money, our $100, and we couldn't get it working. Finally, the fight came on the TV. Dare I say, I think maybe like right before the first round. So, I enjoyed it.
So,
yeah,
people take their Periscope and just film the TV.
Sure. And that way they get they'll get a couple thousand on their channel. And if UFC catches wind of it, they shut their thing down. I don't know if he gets suspended from Periscope. I know a lot of people stopped using it. I feel like it was very popular, then went right away.
I quit even doing things on it. I don't even think about it. I deleted my Twitter or the account anyways, but I have the Periscope. But I was like, I was doing a few little videos when I first left. I was like, I don't really like it.
I went through Twitter. I was like, the fight, Periscope, click on someone's link, and I'm watching it because I couldn't fucking order because of the stream. So if you ever get in a situation where you can, it is stealing, but couldn't order it, couldn't see it, so...
You tried to pay and you couldn't, is what but yeah, the app thing crashed. I actually ordered it at the house. I put on my Feed Me More boxing shorts and shoes and my gloves, and I shadow boxed the entire time watching the fight. Just, I had the dad over he brought his dogs, and I had a good time. It was I had some Buffalo Wild Wings, which, by the way, I know they have Uber Eats, but they don't deliver. Uber Eats doesn't deliver in the area I'm in because I stay away from people and mankind. But Postmates delivers to me, and I'm a big Postmates guy. I get Buffalo Wild Wings deliver on the reg to myself out here. Have you ever used them?
I don't use them in New York. Seamless is the big one, and I mean, because I'm surrounded by, dude, a restaurant or a deli or some sort of food every 20 feet, every 10, everything is here. So Seamless, I put in my thing, I put in my little tip, and they bring me what I want, and I don't have to leave my apartment. Seamless is great.
Postmates, I noticed, because I know you get 20 wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, and you're spending, I think it's about $20 to $23 for that order. And but with Postmates, it comes to anywhere from like $45 to $49 by the time you leave a tip. I don't know, it's a little bit more expensive to do that, but you don't have to leave your house, which is a nice thing.
Yeah.
But it's just down the road, so I don't mind shooting down. But I had it delivered that night, and
I ordered. Let's cut you off. I ordered frozen yogurt from Seamless, which is
really
true piece of shit move.
Jesus.
Because normally me and the wife, every Sunday, or most time is every Sunday in summertime, we'll walk over, get some frozen yogurt, pick our toppings, and I was like, you know what? Maybe it delivers. And so I'm picking out the toppings. So this fucking delivery guy has to come over on his bicycle or moped, deliver me my frozen yogurt before it's melted. I'm like,
holy
man,
shit.
I am such a piece of shit. Like he just looked at me angry, like
he knows you're not tipping good for that yogurt either.
That's the thing though, 20%. How do you feel about 20% on delivery though? On the whole food bill?
And I feel like a lot of places, like when you go out and sit down, and I always tip because I was a server and have went through that. But the thing that sucks is a lot of places, like for instance, there's a Capriati's. It's a sandwich shop here in Vegas, and I went there the other day and got a little deal, and they have tips for that. Like whereas what angers me is not the people working, it's these restaurants don't pay their employees what they should pay them, and then they put the goddamn tip thing on the thing to try to make them so that the people that work there get angry at the customers if they don't tip them. Like they put tip things on everything now. Sure. Things that never, and there's some things that it's warranted on, some things that I feel it's not, where I feel like it's that business's responsibility to take care of that. But it's I can't wait. There's going to be 7-Eleven. I'm telling you, this is the way we're going. Where they're going to have the tip on the 7-Eleven fucking receipts for paying. That's the way businesses are going. They're saving money by making sure that people. Your job relies on tips. It's goddamn. It's out of hand, but
it is popping up more because I noticed I went to Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, way more.
And I get my coffee and I'll get the egg white turkey sausage flatbread things and just eat the fucking meat like a psychopath. So this happened. You'll appreciate this. I always give a tip there too. A buck here, a buck there.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker, man. I give tips all around. And so as the lady's handing me my my food, I open up my wallet and I take out the money, and she can see that I'm about to tip her. And I see the one, and I go to put it into the tip cup, and I make eye contact with her, and she makes eye contact with me, and I look down, I go, oh shit, it's a $10 bill. But I'm already extending my hand out there to tip. You know what I mean?
You extend it back, bring it back in, reel it in, brother. What are you doing? That's a $10 bill for a Dunkin' Donuts.
I could feel her energy, like, oh my God.
She got excited.
She got very excited. So I'm like a Larry, it's like a Seinfeld situation. If I pull my hand back and give her $1, she's going to think I'm such a piece of shit. But if I leave this here, I'll have good service whenever I come in here, and I'll be that guy. So I left it there. I gave the $10. I didn't want to. I did it out of the worst reasons. I'm like,
You did it. You did it out of fear rather than of wanting to actually give her the $10.
I was so fucking mad. I was like, oh, that's $10.
Should be mad at your eyes. They deceived you. You thought you saw a 1 and it was a 10. They tricked you, Buckster. Jesus, she's going to have high expectations now. She's going to be mad at everybody that tips her $1 because they're going to. It's like you gave her great sex, and everybody else is just never going to live up to what you gave her.
And when I come back there, are they going to expect a $10 tip every time? I think I buried myself.
I would just go to a different location. Fucking chalk it up as a loss all the way around.
That happened to me a couple times where I try to be the good person, and then I'm like, oh, why'd I do that? Like at weddings, my big thing to do is you find the bartender early, and you give them like $20-$40 to the bartender because it's a normally open bar. That way, they're always taking care of you. But I've done that during the cocktail hour, and I've tipped, and the bartender's like, oh, thank you. But then a lot of times they rotate bartenders, or it's not the same person during dinner because a lot of them double dip as servers. And then you go back to the bar, and that guy's not there. And it's like, oh, fuck, I just gave $40 to a dude.
Too much, yeah. You're banking on the fact that he's going to be there all night, but if you've learned he's not, you can't do that then because you're really playing Russian roulette there with your drinks.
I'm just a madman.
Man, you got to give the 10 out of love if you're doing it. I would have pulled it back because I would have known it's not out of love. You can't do that, man. You've lesson learned, everybody. If you accidentally pull out the wrong bill, there's nothing wrong with. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one, and just give her a nice smile, and hopefully that makes amends with everything. But
I'm sorry, no way this was for you. Fuck you. Here's your $1.
Look. It's just coffee, ma'am.
Look, your donuts aren't that good. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. You just put them in a bag, okay? No. But, man, no, I love the fight. I thought it was I'm happy for both Conor and Floyd. I thought it delivered on all aspects, and I thought Conor went out there and represented himself well. And it could have been one of those things. He's going into a whole other field, a whole other profession. Granted, it's a fight game. But he is a mixed martial artist, and Floyd is arguably the best in the world, the best defensive boxer. I like both guys. Floyd's a Vegas guy, and Conor's a fucking secret guy, law of attraction guy. And I think I admire Conor for having the courage to. Granted, he made a shit ton of money, but he could have went out there and looked horrible, and he didn't. No. He went out there, and that's a lot of people don't understand. That fight was taken on short notice, and he went out there and represented himself great. And he didn't win the fight, and fatigue got the better of him. And is that some new Kawasaki 500
what
team?
What the fuck? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if Kaientai is going by the fucking...
Yeah. But Floyd is... There's a reason why he's 50-0. And he had a game plan, and I'm sure Conor did, but and just from I boxed and I do that regularly. It takes a great level of conditioning, and when you go out there and then you're fighting under the lights with millions of people watching you. Which, by the way, they broke the pay-per-view record. Which did Vince say the pay-per-view business was dead before?
Did he? Probably.
Yeah, I believe he did. It's not dead apparently. They did 6.5 million buys.
Is that what it's up to? I knew when it was up to 5. I didn't know they did 6.5.
The last that I heard, it was 6.5 million buys. Okay. And that's, again, take that for what that's worth. But I mean, charging $100 a pop.
Yeah, it's like double the normal price of a UFC. Fuck.
And they doubled the price. And I believe the record before was, I don't know if it was Pacquiao and
Mayweather,
Floyd
yeah.
was around 4 million or 4.5 million buys.
I'm not sure.
And they essentially broke it by over 2 million buys. So it's and again, people, and I don't know what the buzz is on social media, people, if they're talking shit or not talking shit. I loved it. I had a great time watching it. I thought it was worth every penny. And at the end, Floyd came out on top. And I would have liked to have seen, just because Conor coming from the MMA world where they tend to finish fights, guys go, you know what I mean? It's a little more on the brutality is a little more on that end.
I felt like they called it a little bit early. I mean,
For me, I feel like I wanted the closure. If he was going to go down, I wanted, because you never know until it happens. Because he'd gotten to clench a couple times, and in the round, I don't think they had that long left to go, right?
No, I mean, he even said he was tired. He's like, I wasn't damaged. I was fatigued.
If you listen to him speak at the end of that fight, he seems completely coherent, and it's he took some shots. So, but again, he got that uppercut on Floyd. We were wearing those gloves, even if they dropped into 8 ounces. It takes a significant shot to. And I don't know. It's Floyd. The fight was stopped, and I understand the reasoning for doing it and the protection of the fighters. And I enjoyed all of it. I wish, and I think for him too. He's in there, and they're fighting in their minds. They're fighting to the death. Conor, that's like he's all about that fucking mindset. I would have liked to have seen him, and I get what he's saying when he says, he wanted to go down with the shield. Just fucking like put me down. I think he was close.
Yeah.
But it got stopped before we got that. But again, at the same time, there's been in boxing guys that have suffered brain injuries and things from one shot. Mm-hmm. So you can't blame that. Referee did the right thing at the same time too. So, but I get where Conor's coming from, and nothing but respect is being given both ways. And I think Floyd knows too that Conor going in there and going into that profession and performing that the way he did, I think that was a tremendous feat in itself, and the courage it takes to leave your field in his field, and he's very confident in his field that he would dominate Floyd. But to go, you know what? No, I'll come to your arena and I'll do it in your field. And he backed up everything he said outside of winning. So Floyd was the better man, and I loved it, man.
He made a lot of money, and everyone got over.
His family is well taken care of for the rest of their lives.
His cute little kid in a 3-piece suit that he had, which is awesome.
I think if you ever listen, and again, a lot of people, and they have their opinions on everybody and whatnot. If you ever just go watch his Law of Attraction video on YouTube, or go watch like a real interview with him where he's just being himself, he's not selling a fight, you get a better you get a better look at him as who he is as a man, and where he was 5 years ago, and the power of positive thinking and believing in yourself is truly, truly how powerful it is. But he knows how to sell fights. That's what he does. That's what Floyd does. So if you're angry that they sold you on the fight, and they're like, well, he didn't win. He said he was going to knock him out. Yeah, he sold you on the fight, and he backed it up, and he went out there and performed very well. He didn't get knocked out in the first, second, or third round. Rounds he actually probably won. It was just it was cool, man. I was happy for both participants, and that the fighters are making the level of money, because the promoters are making out well too.
Sure.
So,
and I think
it was
that
a cool thing.
Most of the feedback, people were pretty content with the fight. They saw a fight. They didn't see it one way, and I think most people walked away from it like, oh, that wasn't bad. That was kind of good. Like, people weren't shitting on it, I feel like.
That's good. I hope they weren't, because that was one of those rare things in life that was actually delivered on everything, and they're charging $100 for it, and I thought those guys gave you 10 fucking good rounds, and it was for Conor never fighting professionally. Yeah. He just went in there with arguably the best of all time, or one of the best of all time, and performed very well. So it's at that one particular skill where I thought it was cool, man. I enjoyed all of it. So
all right. Something else had happened this week. I don't know if you saw this. It may be a planned fight that turned a little bit real in the wrestling industry. Sexy Star and Rosemary. Sorry, Mark.
Wait, no. It's not real?
So apparently, Sexy Star locked in that armbar, Mark, and just kept pulling and pulling, and went into business for herself and tried to hurt Rosemary, it's Rosemary. That's it. I don't know if you saw that.
So, is that a legit thing then? What's the deal with all this? What's going on? Did she break her arm?
No, I watched it back, and what it looked like.
Oh, it is. There is a video online.
There's a video of it, and
okay, I have to watch that. I haven't seen it.
What you see her put on, an arm bar. Basically, I don't know the word for it. It's not there's multiple arm bars, but just a straight arm, lay back and pull.
Yeah.
A traditional MMA style arm bar. which is really hard in wrestling because your arm is so vulnerable when it's straight, and that's when. And I don't know. I've always been the believer if your arm goes straight, you got to tap pretty quickly because that's what people are conditioned to. You know, like Del Rio's armbar or whatever it is, whoever uses the armbar. And she's in
because it's not one of those holds that you can work it from that when the arm is straight, because in real life your arm is about to break really quick if you leave it there for too long, if they get that leverage on you.
They get the leverage and it's just at the right angle, like your arm will go. So you got to fight it by grabbing your wrist, but her arm's straight.
Fuck, she must not have been very good at the hold if she couldn't break it.
So
as if that's a real thing.
So she taps out, and then you see Sexy Star kind of just violently keeps pulling back and pulling back and pulling back. And you can see Rosemary's in like a lot of pain. And it just, it didn't seem, when I heard about this, I thought it was like a bigger spectacle before I watched the video. You can still tell like she tried to, you know, was doing something incredibly dangerous. And from what all the stories and all the people there kind of account for, that she did do it intentionally. And just in really shitty, poor taste. You hear a lot of positive things about Rosemary, and Sexy Star has kind of been outed by everybody. It doesn't seem like she's real apologetic towards it, which is kind of bizarre.
I don't know. I can't really comment on this as far as because I haven't seen it and I don't really know what's going on with it. There's just if I don't know if they have an issue. If there is, you typically you wait to go to the back to take care of that. If that's the case, that's like if you told me again, this is just that. Look, you got to go out there and wrestle CM Punk or John Cena tomorrow. Like in my head, I'm not going out there and fucking. You just don't. As a wrestler and coming in and learning everything I did coming in, it's not even an option. You don't do that when you have another human being's life in your hands. So I don't. That it's really hard for me to like believe that they're. I don't know. I really hope she didn't do that. I don't know enough about it.
Apparently, there was more girls in the match. I don't know if it was a 6-woman tag or, but that Sexy Star was.
You think the guys are bad guys? Women will always make things worse.
And apparently, she was getting into it with a different girl, and it just happens. You know, she did it to two people. Like, kind of was starting with someone else, and. I don't know what the fuck happened, but
that makes no sense if that's because that girl's tagging with that girl.
I don't know. Fuck.
That's like turning a work into a shoot because I don't even. God damn it! Pat. I hope for her sake that's not what she did, because that is really bad. I don't see as what's been the consensus online with the entire thing.
Everybody is. Backed up, Rosemary kind of wrote about the incident and saying how she, was hurt unprofessionally, and she didn't break anything, but she had it checked out like a an arm sprain, and everybody's just outed Sexy Star. It completely, across the board, people tweeting at her, which I found like I get it to speak up about it, but I was just like, man, what is an outside wrestling person think of that stuff? I mean, not that they're following or not following, but it's kind of a real black mark for wrestling. Stuff like this happens, and then stuff like that is kind of, I don't want to say leaked out, but it makes wrestling look really kind of foolish.
Yeah, I don't know why. And again, if there was an issue between, and maybe there's something going on that we don't know about, but again, you don't do that right then and there. If they're, no matter what, you just
never.
Don't.
Of course,
because the whole thing with wrestling is trust when you're in there, and that's the only thing that wrestlers have with each other in there, no matter what. And because you're giving your body up in different positions at different times for the sake of the match, and so I don't know. I need to look more into this too. I honestly don't give a shit, but it's whatever. Like it doesn't belong in wrestling. No, it
doesn't.
And it just. It doesn't look good on all accounts. So, and there's no. I'm just hoping for some sort of thing like that like it's all a made up thing and it never happened. Like that was part of the match and it's just an angle or something. Like I don't want to.
No,
I hope for her sake.
Isn't.
No. But I'm saying I don't want to. I hope for her sake because I don't see how she really. How does she recover from that? Like. as far as you know, if you do that to another person and then you get booked on a show to work another girl, like, well, mentally, what the fuck is wrong with you? How am I going to trust you to go in there? Like, we're just not going to do any submissions then because I don't fucking trust. But again, in any move, like, who's to say, like, what's going on in her brain to, like, I don't know. That's
it's a cowardly thing to have a hold on somebody and go, like, you know what? I have this hold that you let me put you in, and now I'm going to fucking break your arm. Like,
Well, the good news of all this is she doesn't know how to break her fucking arm, so you don't have to really worry about you might just be in little pain, but no true damage is going to be done at the end of it. So that might be her only saving grace is, look, guys, Sexy Star likes to shoot. She's not good, though.
Good point. Good point.
That might be Sexy Star, you're welcome. I just saved you some bookings. Look, guys, she's going to try to fucking hurt you out there, but don't worry.
It'll just be a sprain. No real ligament damage.
Just going to say ouch, and you'll be fine later.
All right, something else. You know what I watched this week? I don't know if you saw this, but I actually really enjoyed the Mae Young Classic. Have you got a chance to watch that yet?
No, I haven't watched any of it.
Go check it out. It was, you know, I went in there with an open eyes, and it was refreshing. Did you see the Cruiserweight Classic at all?
Part of it. I watched a couple matches on it.
The presentations is really good, and I thought
I have very bitter memories towards cruiserweights with my way out of WWE with Kalisto, Pat, if you don't know.
Oh, it's still a sore spot.
It still hurt. I love Kalisto. I'm kidding, but it's God damn it. Got the better of me.
Watching that was real fun, and I definitely maybe you can check it out. We'll talk about it next week.
What did you like about it? Tell me about it. Let's go. This is the news. This is what.
Yeah, it was just refreshing to see a whole. The video packages where I have a fucking Steve Austin Budweiser truck outside my house right now. Legit. I swear to God. Okay, it's gone. It was refreshing to see matches that the video packages were excellent. The girls were talented, and then it just revolved around winning and losing, and there was no diluted, shitty storylines. Like there was no bad acting. There was no.
I like the storyline. That I wanted to see.
Fuck
because when they do just the matches, then they don't know how to tell stories when they're just the dry matches. It's just a bunch. Did they no-sell a bunch of moves or no?
There was quite a bit of no-selling, to be honest with you. In fact,
yeah, fuck them. That's what.
No,
not the girls, just in general, the no-selling. Fuck them.
Here we go again.
yeah. And then he knew Ryback says, "Fuck you" to the women for no-selling.
There was a lot of. There was definitely they were putting a lot of effort in, but there was a lot of more. I don't know how to put it. There was a lot of no selling. There was, but
yeah, you can go out there and no sell for fucking an hour if you want to. It means nothing.
The one thing I got there wasn't a lot of big. Some opponents were paired up with smaller opponents, and I felt like everybody was the same size. Like nobody worked their size. The matches were very entertaining, and the girls looked great. Things looked solid.
I'm sure they're all extremely talented, yeah.
But there was no respect for the different sizes a little bit. Like everyone was working the same style of good. Every match, I've only seen the first two.
That's what not everybody. That's what I have. I'm telling you, there's just all accounts of anything. If you're 400 pounds of muscle and hit a guy with a power slam, a guy that's 180 pounds, well, it's fake. I don't have to sell it. Like, no, you do, and you will. Like, but people don't. That's up to the big guys to fucking enforce that shit, and not shooting, but like you have to enforce that psychology because otherwise you let people take over shit that shouldn't be taking over shit.
Every match,
I just get upset over it.
A lot of near falls. Like there was no. That's the one thing that kind of like not took me out of it, but every match was.
You put it over to start, and I'm slowly getting you to now bury it.
No, I did pick it apart. I was like, okay, this is really good. Things I really enjoyed about it. But there was a couple things like with every match was very competitive. Every match, which is great.
Two elephants fucking time after time, I would imagine.
Exactly. Like it got to a point where it's
Tom
like
Pritchard, ladies and gentlemen,
and the crowd with their fucking too sweet chants and. Every single match, that was, like I said, the girls.
You know how many casual people are watching that?
Probably not a whole lot getting the network.
I would say probably none. Yeah.
The one thing that shocked me on this too, that made scratch my head, is ground and pound legal now in WWE? Is that a thing?
I did it for an end before I had actually a little run with the ground and pound right before it was actually doing fairly well. There were a couple shows that so now I just get Ryback and Red and ground and pound is the new thing. Yep, assholes, I did. I dare you to find somebody that does it better than me. It's and then crowds were getting with it, and then they told me to stop.
Huh.
So what's the deal with it now?
But isn't it that a rule you can't do it though? Like the ref is counting, correct?
They'll pull you off. They pull you off I would believe.
So I'm watching this episode 1 or 2, I forget, of the Mae Young Classic, and ground and pound is happening, and they're putting it over on commentary, and the ref's not doing anything, and it was like completely. It threw me off. I was like, oh. Are we allowed to do this now? I just didn't know, like, because they change things all the time. It was different.
Was Sexy Star throwing the punches? They weren't worried.
Maybe she was just hitting the mat. That could be the worst thing in wrestling, though, like that everybody does when people are doing ground and pound or just mounted punches. Dare I say 70% of them look so shitty. Like,
yeah.
Especially when they go fast, it's like. It's a tough thing to make look really good.
Go YouTube Ryback ground and pound, and you tell me if they look shitty. I'm curious on what you think about my ground and pound.
All right, I'll check it out. I do remember the hammer fist to the head. You do that, right? Was that yours?
I had a little run with hammer fist too. Yeah. But when I switched to trunks, I had a little run with ground and pound. And you check it out, YouTube.
Right. You took the Mae Young Classic, and now we're talking about your ground and pound.
This is what. Yeah. I haven't watched it, so I don't know. No, I'm sure it's great. I know some of the competitors in it, and it's. I'm happy for everybody to have the opportunity and whatnot. Everything I just get. People get mad. Well, what? Like wrestling has evolved. It's art. You can't take away selling, but and all I can control is my matches I'm in. So if people want to just throw shit away, go ahead. But not saying they are. I need to watch it to be able to form an opinion on it. So
all right. I don't know what else we had going on this week. I feel like it was a slow week outside of Raw or SmackDown, or is there anything?
I have a lot of wrestling news I wrote down to prepare. I thought you were going to have one. I thought I sent you the notes.
I read a little bit and then I forgot about them. So why don't you lead this dance?
I don't like leading the wrestling news, Pat. I like you informing me of the wrestling news going on because I don't know a lot about it. But I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown. The only thing I went and watched because I heard a little buzz about it was the Cena Reigns promo. Did you see that on Raw?
I did see that. So you did or didn't see it? Or you're pretending that you didn't see it?
No, I did see it.
Okay.
I went and watched it after just to see, and I thought it was really good. I enjoyed the whole thing.
That's it? That's all you got?
Yeah, no, I just think it was it's about time they do a promo on things out of what people really think or whatnot. So it's I thought it was entertaining on all accounts, and I know they mentioned something. There was something Reigns they thought forgot his lines. I didn't see in there where he forgot his lines. People pause and take their time all the time on different situations and whatnot, but. Yeah, no, I like Roman. Roman's a good dude, and I always got along with him really well. So I hope he fucking beats John really quickly for creative purposes.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. That's what you're looking for, asshole. Okay, cool.
No, I thought Roman. I thought he could have been he gave great answers when he was really feeling it. A couple times you could tell he was kind of, maybe he wasn't as prepared, but what do you do in that situation?
No, John's a creative guy. John's a creative guy. He's been out. He's been there for a long time. He's been through this battle many, many times where he's been able to politically control it. And this is one where I don't know. I don't know if he will. So, and it'll be nice if he can't. So,
one thing I saw too, I watch on Raw every week. I feel kind of bad for Kurt Angle because his theme music with the whole, he comes out. It's one thing if he's a heel, but now he's not wrestling, and that's fucking driving him crazy. That has to be eating.
Because he's sitting at TV all day with all these fucking people around, the writers, and he just has to, like Daniel Bryan told me, it's like the worst thing to be up there is just an on-screen personality, because then you just get your scripted lines and you physically can't exert yourself. You just have to sit there. It's like you want to just it's not a good thing. Yeah.
But
I'm sure he's very unhappy.
So that, but like mixed with coming out, and like I get it, the whole "you suck," everyone has a good time, and he's just kind of like embracing it. But do you think he's just like, man, I'm so fucking sick of this. Like, I just want to wrestle or not be this happy, smiley fucking general manager dude.
Yeah, because it's the shittiest job in the world. Granted, he's on TV, but and eventually it will lead to him wrestling. But it's a miserable day at the office, sitting there just waiting for your lines, and then it's just memorizing is all that it is, and it's just stuff you wouldn't want to say, and he has to do things he wouldn't want to do, and he can't go out. He's a warrior. He likes to compete, and he can't do that, right? Or they're not letting him do that, or whatever. It's just so. But I'm sure the guy makes the most of every situation, and I admire that.
He does a great job. Every time that music hits, he comes out and everyone's chanting "You suck," and he's smiling, embracing it. I'm like, I feel bad. He can't love it that much. I don't know.
He's such a strong on-screen personality, and used in a wrestling role, did it so well everywhere he went. So it's just a different role for him right now, and I think he will. I think if eventually it'll all be worth it once he can wrestle again. So I think he makes the most of it. That's just the way that it is now. That's what it is. So
I hate to let you down. I don't really have anything else for this week, big guy.
I have so much wrestling news that I wrote down for this week. Xavier Woods looks like he escaped a major injury. He seems to be, I think it was a sprained MCL.
Okay.
I feel like a piece of shit because I have to go look at the wrestling things right before the show, and I don't like looking at those things at all to try to get some topics for tonight.
Well, listen, I have been
You've under-delivered heavily on me tonight.
I've been training the youth of America in the gyms, flying back in my car to record this podcast. I did not make as many wrestling notes this week as I would have liked. I was too busy focused on the Vinny Awards.
That's the Vinny Awards. I'm really looking forward to our main event tonight. You guys are really going to, I think, really enjoy those. What are your thoughts on, and again, I haven't seen any of this, Enzo going to 205 Live?
I think it's actually a really smart idea, and I think that people are so obsessed with his backstage heat, whether it's real or not real, but willing to believe it's real.
He paid $10,000 supposedly for a ticket to this Conor Floyd fight for the ringside seats.
He just knows how to rub people the wrong way. But
he supposedly, I think he posted a picture of the ticket with the price. I don't know what he's just adding to it. Maybe, whatever. I don't know what, I could just tell you that early on into his career, he's not set by any means.
No.
So
but they keep using him. They keep putting him on television, and
he beat their big monster heel, Big Cass.
That's right.
Came out on top in that program. He's rolling strong right now, but I mean, it doesn't last. It's like I always equate it to the Spirit Squad, and I like him a lot. Nicky was Dolph, right?
Yeah.
Nick Mitchell was Mitch, and he wasn't as experienced in the ring as the other guys, and he was blowing through his money at a quick rate up there. And the guys were like, "Look, it doesn't always last forever. Like this run we're having doesn't last. Like we're working with DX. Like we're eventually not going to be working in the main program." And no, man, everything's good. And like everything wasn't good. So you got to, I'm all for living life, but you also got to be a little smart with your money.
From what I might be hearing, I hear that his merchandise numbers are pretty decent, and that's why they keep him on Raw. That his segments do fairly well, and that so if they hate the guy, they're still getting something out of him by putting him in some sort of thing every week.
Yeah.
So
what they'll do is they'll find somebody to replace the numbers with eventually, and if they
and we will see Enzo at WrestlePro. Who knows? Who knows how it's going to go?
No, but it's he's on 205 Live, and I think that's a good little boost for that, maybe, and for the hardcore people that tune into the network to watch it. But I guess they could still use him on Raw, though. They use that. That's like they do that with a small circle of guys on that show, right? Like Neville and
You got 3 hours to fill, and had they shined
Which,
a lot of light. What's up?
by the way, it could be punishment to him by putting him on that, and the fact that it keeps him on the road now for 5 fucking days a week instead of going 4, where he gets to go home after Raw.
Okay.
Where he now has to go to SmackDown. I'm telling you right now, and everybody that is up there knows, that 5 day a week fucking sucks. The 4 days, it's doable. 5, you want to shoot your fucking brains out. It's because you're never home. You're home a day and a half at most.
So now he has to go to everything. Okay.
Two TVs and be around the writers for 2 days, and it is. Live events are cool. TV days, not so much.
I know a lot of the 205 Live guys for a while. I believe it's not this way anymore. Maybe it is for a couple of them. Would have to go to both TVs, then go to NXT and train in their off days. And if they're needed for things, they got to go back and forth. That's rough.
Well, they got to teach them how to sell, Pat. Where else are they going to fucking learn it?
These guys can sell. They just have to.
They just don't.
No, they're trying to make them. They have not had a fair shake. They're talented athletes. They just have not been given, either have them be different and have them literally do no.
How are they different though? Everybody like AJ Styles, like he does a lot of that stuff, but he sells and does other things.
Because he was a defined character before he came in there. I mean, the perception or these guys need.
I think he's done a good job of getting himself more over since he's come in though.
But he came in there with this.
A little buzz, yeah.
A lot of buzz. I mean, he was in demands for years and years and years, and that's the best case scenario. I'm talking about someone who's a lot of those guys have not. This is their first experience on television. Period. So, what do you do? You feel kind of not bad for them because they're all getting they're all employed and they're all doing their thing, but.
You know what it is? The key is casual viewers. You got to make casual viewers like you. And if you can't do that, you don't belong in the big time.
But that's not from no selling. That's from a lack of character or lack of promotion on WWE's end. That's not from the
I don't
guys.
know.
Oh, give me a fucking break. No way.
If I don't care about you and you're not selling, I don't buy into anything else you do.
It's not, but they're trying to make them sell just like everyone else, and I think people are more disconnected than ever because they're like, why should I care?
Yeah, because they're smaller. People don't care about smaller human beings.
You just said AJ. AJ is 5'10", 205.
He's a muscled up guy. He looks good. He works out.
Tony Nese is bigger than AJ Styles.
No, he's not.
Yes,
no, he's not. You put them side by side. He might be a little leaner. He's not bigger.
I don't know about that.
I will argue with that all day long. No way.
I'm maybe he's a little shorter.
Then he's smaller. He's not. It's just that there's a size thing. AJ's just big enough for everything he does. He's thick. He's put on some weight. He looks like he takes care of himself up there.
AJ's what? AJ's not 6 foot, right? 5.
He's bigger than you think. He's bigger than Tony Nese. I know that much.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know if I can.
Hopefully they take a picture side by side at TV and they could put that out there for everybody. You're wrong on that. I'm telling you.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm pretty confident in my words right here. No, but I get what you're saying. They're in a tough spot, and if they're not exposed, a lot of them. Their TV time is they're put in multiple man matches typically. Mm-hmm. A lot of times on Raw, I feel like, right, and then whatever they have going on. I've not seen 205 Live ever.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't put it on. So even though I still got my free WWE network, but I should check it. Maybe they pulled it by now, but they haven't as of the last time I checked. So like about a month ago, or whatever the last pay-per-view was. So. Other news: Vince McMahon turned 72 years old. Happy birthday, old man. And I was going to ask you about this. This is my final note because this happened after we recorded last week. What's the deal with Loki leaving GFW? You're an agent for them, right?
Yeah, but they just haven't told me yet. No, I'm not. I don't work there.
Did you fire him?
Yeah, I fired Loki. I pulled him in, and I was like, "Look, man. Actually, he was really good to me on
I like Loki
on the house shows that I worked. He was very complimentary and very cool, and I like Loki a lot. And I think Loki is a tremendous performer.
Yeah, I do too. I was with him at FCW for a while down there, and I always got along with him fine. I never had one issue with him. So, but I know there's other things, but I think he's extremely talented. There's nothing he can't do.
So they brought him back, and I think they had an idea for him to be more of a focal point for the X Division because he kind of pioneered that, and he was starting to feud in the main picture, the main title scene, and I think he wanted to be in that. And low key, it's really his way or the highway. He's a man that's firm in his beliefs. And
nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. He's a proven dude, and he's proven that he can go away and come back and go elsewhere, and he's phenomenal. So he didn't want to be in the X Division apparently, and he wanted to be in the main scene from what I've gathered online. I don't know, and he's
okay.
On his own accord though. Key definitely walked out. Key decided, hey, I'm out. So it wasn't financial. He left.
Okay, more creative maybe. He just wanted different. He wanted to be used in a different capacity, or
100% creative. Yeah.
Yeah, it's people are allowed to not agree on things, so it's nothing wrong with that if that was the case. So I'm sure he'll be just fine. He's a very talented wrestler. So that's it for me that I got on my wrestling news, asshole. Since
next
that's
week
all I got.
I will be more prepared. I promise you.
But yeah, why don't we go ahead? We'll go ahead and take our next break here, and we'll be right back. And we'll come back. We got some reviews, I believe, correct?
We got a lot of stuff coming up, so stay tuned.
All right.
Hey everyone! In addition to being the co-host of this podcast, I'm the founder and promoter of WrestlePro. Dare I say, WrestlePro puts on the best professional wrestling live events in the country. We're also fully insured and licensed. Now, if you're listening to the show, then you clearly love professional wrestling, and I appreciate that. But I also have a question for you. Would you like professional wrestling in your area, maybe in your hometown, your high school, your college, your civic center, your stadium, whatever you want? If you're a civic group, a sports team, a fire department, a police department, if you have a corporate event, a festival, any group that is looking to raise funds or put on an entertaining show, WrestlePro is your promotion. This is not your regular wrestling show. Just in the last year, WrestlePro has brought in incredible talent such as Terry Funk, DDP, Booker T, Ryback, Cody Rhodes, Hornswoggle, Colt Cabana, Brian Cage, Jeff Jarrett, Tommy Dreamer, the Hardy Boys, Scott Steiner, and much, much more. Even the Nature Boy Ric Flair has been with WrestlePro and loves it. Tell him, Nate.
It's the Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair, Russell Pro, the Nature Boy, sign an autograph. Look as only he can look. Russell Pro, be there. Woo, 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 woo. Limousine riding, jet flying. Woo! Russell Pro. Woo!
If you're seriously interested, WrestlePro can bring a live wrestling show to your town. A full professional wrestling card complete with talent, 8 matches, sound system, lighting, the works. We design the artwork and posters. We help you sell the tickets. We push all of our events all over our social media. We believe in good repeat business. Packages and prices vary on talent requested and their availability. For more information, contact me directly at WrestleProOnline@yahoo.com or simply check out www.WrestleProOnline.com and you can see our past and upcoming events to get a taste of what WrestlePro is all about. I hope to hear from you soon. Okay, it's my favorite time of the week. It's time for some reviews.
Reviews of the week. Those domestic reviews, our favorite time of the week.
The one thing I found ironic, though, is these 2 reviews are from Scottsdale, Arizona. I don't know why. I found that ironic. Anyway.
You picked them, though, didn't you?
Well, I picked them, but I just thought that was interesting that 2 different reviews were from Scottsdale. You know what I mean?
We're growing in the desert. That's cool.
First one, Hungry for More by Hadouken Expert.
Like him already.
I never reviewed a podcast in my life, but compelled to review this one. I've been watching wrestling since '89, and I always thought these guys were some outer world superheroes who would have nothing in common with us. But after hearing
Sorry to disappoint you.
but after hearing the big guy and Pat, I was wrong. They're humans. It's just 2 blokes having a laugh and not taking themselves too seriously. Very entertaining and informative. Motivational, and admittedly, when Ryback was in WWE, I wasn't a fan, but I think he's a decent bloke now. And it is one of those things, hard to believe that this is free, and I wouldn't even mind paying for this podcast. Keep up the good work.
That's a good point. That's maybe something in the future we should look into.
Charging for this. Nah.
$1.99 per episode. I wonder how many people would still listen if we did that.
Not many at all. Great podcast by Fraser Wilson. I've listened to this podcast from the start and find it insightful and interesting and a great change from many of the other wrestling podcasts. Ryback and Pat give opinions and thoughts on wrestling, promoting, and the marks. During the run with WWE, I always liked Ryback, and I've heard more about the backstage politics and how he handled them. I like him even more. Thanks, guys.
Well, since this guy has been a fan of me, and they both had kind words, I like both.
I made a mistake. Did I say Scottsdale? I meant Scotland. Both of these reviews are from Scotland.
Do you want me to wait for you to go ahead and find the domestic ones?
I hate when that happens, man. That's
no. I mean, I hated that you fucked up for your own sake. Do you want to go ahead and find the Scottsdale ones that you were looking for?
I don't think there were any Scottsdale ones, but there sure is.
Are there any close states nearby?
All right, there's one domestic one. Here you go.
I would like to hear. Be fair. Number 2, though, where's Scotland? You said
both of them are from Scotland, not Scottsdale.
All right, I'm 10% Irish, so I'm not gonna,
Well, Scottish is a little bit different than Irish, but
yeah. But I mean, I'm 70% English. We're all kind of in the same vicinity.
All part of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay, the most handsome podcast of all time by
oh man, what a guy
by Maltman7275. This podcast is the best around. The fitness tips are creme de la creme. It's my go-to when I'm at the gym.
It's so good.
The wrestling talk is pretty good.
Thank you.
The best part is the Vince impressions in the beginning. I can't say enough. Can't say enough good things about the whole thing. Keep up the great work, guys. Best of luck to you in all your endeavors. So there you go.
I don't know if you've noticed, I had a perma smile on this review. This guy made me smile from beginning to end, Pat. Did you not notice that? For the people listening, they can't see. We don't record this on Google Hangout or anything yet. We've not evolved the podcast.
Too lazy to figure it out.
I just don't. I have so much fun doing this way. I don't want people to see me. This is our safety zone. Like, this is fun for me. I don't want a camera on me. I don't want this to become an appearance. Where's this guy from again? Number 3?
It doesn't say, but he is domestic. He's in our country.
Oh, it doesn't say where he's at. Oh, no. What was his name?
Maltman7275.
It's hard to hate a guy that likes malt. Again, I don't like to discriminate against anybody, Pat, but that guy brought a smile to my face, which isn't always the easiest thing to do, and I thank Maltman for that. And Maltman, you're our winner. Where you live has nothing to do with any of this, guys. You made me feel good about myself for that, so thank you.
I tried, guys. I tried. Thank you for the UK reviews. I appreciate you guys sending them in. Thank
you. Keep them coming, guys. You guys, everybody's on an equal playing field. I just want to stress, I can't stress that enough. And email the big guy at feedmemore.com, Maltman, and we'll get you all hooked up.
All right. Let's do some questions. You ready for them?
Oh, yeah. This is actually becoming my favorite part of the show now because I have no clue what you're going to ask me, whereas before, when I had my Twitter and everything, I saw them. So this is real as it gets, guys. This is fucking Sexy Star 24/7 right here.
Sexy Star, your favorite wrestler now?
She's, sexy big guy.
Oh man, you guys would be a hated couple on the internet. You and Sexy Star.
I should look into doing fucking mixed tag matches with her where we botch submissions time after time, and I have to just come in and do power moves. God damn it! You can't break his arm. Let me try. Fuck, I can't do it either. Power bomb.
Oh, one thing before we start questions, I should have told you this. I forgot. I learned about this 2 episodes ago. I want to give a quick or I don't know how to say this, but
what?
I don't know. It's a sad.
I don't
moment.
even have no fucking. Oh, okay.
So, do you remember my story about the baby powder in the locker room? How I got into the fight with the guy? It's on an old episode.
Yeah, the Nigerian Nightmares, right?
I just learned that one of the guy, the Nigerian Nightmare, passed away.
Oh no.
Yeah, and his name was Aaron Gainey, and my baby powder nemesis passed away. I just wanted to kind of, give my condolences to his family. He was a great dude. He was one of the only people I fist fought in wrestling, and we became friends after that. But very sad. So rest in peace, Aaron.
What did he pass away from? Had you know any details on the situation, or?
He used to be very, very, very heavy set. I mean,
okay.
He had to be over 400 pounds, but he lost the weight. How he lost the weight, I don't exactly know.
Oh, all right.
I am hearing, and if anyone knows, I'll correct it on here. But I am hearing that he had a pretty bad case of diabetes, and then he had a couple amputations, and then all of a sudden, I thought I saw him last June actually at Legends of Wrestling. I believe it was June, and he looked healthy. So
yeah.
I don't know what happened, but he was a nice dude. He even though I punched him in the face, I'm sure we both laughed about it later on, and rest in peace.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I was not expecting that. I'm sorry to hear that. So nothing but positive thoughts to the family on that and friends.
Now to get this back up, sorry, let's continue on with questions. Apologize.
On positive news, you punch like Sexy Star.
I do. I definitely do.
The punch had nothing to do with the situation, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's find the old question. Oh, here's a question from
a lot of Sexy Star references tonight.
I had a tryout with Sexy Star. I probably should have said this earlier. So one of the last FCW tryouts, listen to this cast that was down there, because they only hired one person. They hired Tyler Breeze from this one. So it was me.
Oh, he's on my list for one of my Vinnies.
Me, Tony Nese, Sexy Star, AR Fox, Alex Reynolds, Joey Ryan. I'm trying to think who else was kind of notable.
Wait, was this that LA deal that you did that one time?
No, totally separate thing. This was at FCW. Okay. This is one of the tryout camps, and
oh wow.
All of us were there, but I remember Sexy Star being there and doing all the drills in her mask, and I'm like, she didn't speak very good English, but that's the only.
Is she Mexican?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I like Latinas.
That would be great. You guys would be a great couple.
That might be, rather than going with Phoenix Marie for the endorsing the big guy on the independents, I go with Sexy Star. And she doesn't wrestle though; she's just a mouthpiece. That's how I get her booked. Give me the big guy at feedmemore.com, Sexy Star.
Oh, my God.
Make it all right.
So here we go. First question from the
Go ahead.
The Van Brony on Twitter.
I got a question.
This is going to make you laugh. So I got a question about the backpack stunner and what Regal said about it. Would falling to your knees fix the issue?
No, because the weight is still coming down into your spine.
How terrible would that be? Fuck.
Now you're fucking up your knees and your back.
Imagine giving someone a backpack stunner and going to your knees. Oh,
it's the weight is coming down, compressing your disc, and then you are stressing your ligaments and tendons in your knee. Yeah, not a good idea.
Moving on from NYR30 on Twitter. How much truth is there to the perception of The Miz and his cowardly style? Does he flat out refuse to take big bumps?
I've never heard anything about Miz refusing to take big bumps.
I never heard anything either,
you?
But when Daniel Bryan and Miz got into it on Talking Smack, Dan was kind of called his wrestling style kind of cowardly. I don't know if he wanted to say... I don't know. The way he was explaining it, that's what I think this guy is referencing. But I think Miz is fucking smart because he stayed healthy and...
He's been healthier than anybody his entire career, and... I've been in there with the Miz time and time again, and he, even if I don't think Miz is physically the specimen I am, or to a lot of people, the one thing the Miz has is heart. And Miz, and I've seen this, I've come from Tough Enough with him, and I've seen this with him time and time again. He can turn it on with the best of them. And do I think he's the toughest guy in the world? No, but he will go down swinging if it came to it. He, even though and he'll go down every time, but he'll go down swinging. But he sorry to make you choke on that. I have nothing but respect for the Miz. I like him a lot, and I think he belongs right where he is, and him and Dan, again, that it's all fucking fake. Like, even if that was, they're taking shots at each other, it's still in a fucking scripted environment. So, and Dan knows. Dan's wrestled Miz. Dan can go out there and wrestle with anybody, and Miz can put in time. And
I think this came from Talking Smack, where they were kind of, it wasn't so scripted, so that's what got people interested.
Wait, why do they think that? Because that's what they've read?
It came across incredibly genuine, where they were trying to one up each other, and you can tell the wheels were going. But I still think they put it in a working capacity.
Yeah, and I think and Daniel Bryan has nothing but respect for the Miz.
Sure,
and the Miz really helped him a lot early on, and Daniel Bryan helped Miz too with everything and escalating him. So it's no, I think I don't know anything about the Miz playing it safe. Miz, I've never encountered Miz saying, no, I don't want to do that. No, that's too dangerous. No, I'm not taking that bump, brother. Like, it's Miz is fucking a warrior when he's out there, and he's just not the toughest guy in the world, but he'll go down swinging.
From Dick the Bruiser on Twitter, what does Ryback think about Rich Piana and his passing away, and who does he follow as a pro bodybuilder?
Very unfortunate. I don't talk a lot about so I'm very, and I talked to our buddy JD with Iron Attitude about this a lot more than anybody. So I've gone into the supplement industry, and I have a big problem with a lot of the supplement industry, and I don't believe in a lot of the way. I don't believe in we've seen this the past couple weeks, 2 guys in that industry whom have passed away, and it's very unfortunate. Death, and I believe death is a great experience once you've passed along, but and for your family and loved ones and your friends and supporters, and it's a tough thing to lose a loved one. And I think he had a lot of issues, and I think he had a lot of drug issues, and I don't know him personally. I've never met him personally. I think he tried to make the most of life, and he created a brand. And I don't think he was the sole owner of it. I think there were other people involved in that. But I've heard various things on how he passed away and the issues he had. And I think the best thing that company can do from that brand standpoint is tell the truth, is that the guy, he had issues, he had demons, and he fought them over the years, and his supporters helped him with that. And but eventually the addictions or the drugs overcame, and it was it's unfortunate, but it's one of those. I live a completely different lifestyle than that. Even though I'm in the supplement industry now, my products and my brand do not represent what he did, and I'm an entirely different entity than that. So, but it's nothing but positive thoughts and vibes for him and his supporters and all that. And it's never 46 is way too young to fucking die, man.
Sure.
But it's and Dallas was 26, Dallas McCarver. So I mean, but when you're in that field, that's why I have the issue with drugs that I have, is that, and you could sit there and say you could spin it any way you want to spin it. Oh, I just want to be the best me, and you're sacrificing your health, and why not be the best you naturally and healthy, and be a positive role model to everybody and the generations that come. And I think that's one of the things, bodybuilding. That's why I told you I was surprised The Rock got involved with the Mr. Olympia. I don't think he has any business being involved in that, and I think he's better than that, and everything. I just think it's, with the youth out there and everything going on, and people look at you and, oh, well, he does that, and he's supposedly successful. Yeah, but he's also that you die a lot younger, and to have achieved greatness, you don't have to do drugs to achieve greatness. I think that's the biggest message. And that has nothing to do with Rich Piana or anything of that, but I'm just, in general, I just think bodybuilding and all that, I think they need to get away from all that. And Arnold's a big part of a lot of this. Arnold had a lot of success and admitted to doing steroids, and in his time, it was I love Arnold, and I looked up to him. But I can tell you personally, for me, knowing that Arnold took steroids and hearing him talk about that had a great influence on me when I decided to do them for that brief period in my early 20s. Well, he did them. He's successful. I want to do them. I want to be successful. I want attention. And I think you got to educate the youth to know that that's not the way that it needs to be. And it sucks. It's a tough thing, man. It's too young to be passing away. So,
from Frank of the Myers on Twitter,
I got a question.
What is the weirdest storyline WWE has ever pitched you?
Not necessarily storyline. The out of the blue that I had no, again, dealing with The Miz, was the one where, remember where they had me quit against The Miz when he was kicking my leg against the ropes?
No, I don't remember that.
You go YouTube it.
Oh! Miz has really figured out the formula of taking out the ninja. What is Ryback's match?
Wait a minute.
Stop the match! Ryback!
No, he did.
Yeah, he did. No, he did. Ryback just waved off his own match. Listen to the fans' reaction here, booing Ryback for doing just that.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to the fact that Ryback cannot continue, the winner of this match, The Miz.
Wow. How do you wave off your own match?
It was the word. Road Dogg and Finley came up to me, and I could tell by their expression they were like laughing and they were like nervous on because there was no good way. It was so out of the blue. It was after being Feed Me More Ryback and then just turning heel. Mm-hmm. It was getting ready to go into the Jericho program, and they wanted me to Miz kicking my leg in the corner where he puts your leg in the rope and starts kicking your thigh meat, where I quit, and they wanted me to look like a pussy. And I go, well, that sounds like a shitty idea. Mm-hmm. And they go, no, but like here, this is Vince's idea, and Jericho's going to call you Ryback, and we wanted to catch on. And I go, but we just went from this. How are you going to go from that to this, like over like in a course of a week? Mm-hmm. And then it was just one of those things that I wish I would have not done. In all seriousness, that was the following week. Vince apologized to me and him in the office, and because I remember I don't remember the details of everything, but I was talking to him about a Sheamus program potentially, because me and Sheamus really, really wanted to have a program, and still to this day was one of the guys I really, really wanted to have a program with long term. And because we've done live events and we've done a couple TV deals and we work really well together in both physical and Vince just that was a bad idea. I apologize. And it was literally the next week. It couldn't have been planned any better. Like he knew full well what he was doing with that. It was absolute fucking shit. And I wish I just would never have done it. But
so you think it was deliberately a bad idea?
It's gotta be, yeah. It was the next week. How do you not know that it's going to be a fucking, from what we just did to that? He knows full well what he's doing, and it was shit. So
I got a question.
From Andrew Morris on Twitter, is both keto a permanent way to eat, like vegetarian or vegan, or is it more of a diet for a certain period of time? And if so, how long?
No, I think it could be a very permanent thing. I think the key is you're allowed to have your vegetables and everything, and then I think eating vegetables are very important. And I think having your carbohydrate days and strategically putting those in when you need your carbohydrates, I find myself functioning much better on the keto diet. No, don't get me wrong. Like today's my carb day. I love my carbohydrate days and keeping my fats low, but it's I don't know what it is. It's something about the ketogenic diet. Everybody's different. I don't, from what I understand, I don't see any issues doing it long term. But again, you should probably check with a doctor on that. But I think if you put your carbohydrate days in there on the right days, that there's no reason why you can't continue it for any significant period of time.
I got a question.
From Mike Garcia, I like kettlebell workouts as part of my regimen. Do you use them or anything like the Indian clubs?
Oh, I have clubs in my gym that I used to do for my shoulders, kind of like not the big Persian clubs that Iron Sheik use. They're smaller ones, but they're heavy from On It. But I do use their Gorilla kettlebells. I'll actually Snapchat them tomorrow. I do the what's the gimmick with the kettlebell where is it the thrust where you kettlebell swings. I apologize. I will do those on leg day typically. I didn't do them today now that I'm thinking about it. But I did go up to 385 for multiple sets, 3 sets of 5. So I felt good on that, just getting my hips and my low back. But I do kettlebell swings, and actually I will do a back rows with I have some heavy kettlebells that I will throw in there because I could use you just kind of there's a little different angle you can get with them. So, but I like those gorilla kettlebells because I look like a goddamn fucking gorilla.
All right, Jesus. From real Kevin. What are you drinking tonight, big guy?
I'm drinking Gentleman's Jack. It's the last of the bottle.
All right.
Why you accusing me of being buzz pet?
Maybe slightly. Real Kevin.
I would tell you I'm not at all. I'm very relaxed though.
Okay.
I got a question.
Real Kevin Basta on Twitter. Besides wake up unlimited energy, what are other ways to combat sleepiness in my computer desk job? There are no other ways.
Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing that I know of. Coffee is, but you again, the safe recommended dosage for caffeine is between 300 to 500 milligrams. I feel. I think they say anywhere 3 to 4, 3 to 5. Some people, I think, obviously, if you're bigger, you can get away with maybe a little more, or if you're, but I always kind of try to keep that 500 milligram mark as a guideline on not exceeding that for the day. So, but a large Starbucks coffee, or doing a couple small or a couple medium Starbucks coffees throughout the day will probably keep you within that range and keep you going.
From Danny Dotis on Twitter.
Cocaine also.
Cocaine.
Well, not that I've done it. I've never done it actually, but I've heard. I went on a date this last week. We've not talked about the big guy's dating tales, which we might have to get into sometime.
I thought it was off limits.
Maybe not anymore.
Okay,
no.
Okay.
But we'll get into it eventually. But I learned one of my dates educated me on the white part of the coffee bean of cocaine.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
She also knows Floyd Mayweather, but another story for another day.
Danny Dotis on Twitter. To both Pat Buck and Ryback. This is topical. Who gets more ladies? Well, friend, I am off the markets. I'm not scouting the female talent these days. But back in my day.
Yeah, we don't share a lot of story. We did live together briefly.
Back in 2011, I was killing Tampa.
No, we lived in Louisville too together. But you're married now, and I don't think it's appropriate to talk about anything. But I've done very well for myself over the years. But I'm at a point where I'm looking to settle down and have a family.
You're looking for Mrs. Big Guy.
That's for all the TV shows out there. Yeah, Jesus Christ,
Mrs. Big Guy.
That's the name of my show, Mrs. Big Guy. It's just me with what was the fucking guy's name? The Rock of Love show.
Bret Michaels.
It's just me looking for love, and it's all just big women.
Mrs. Big Guy's hilarious.
It's all fat women. Fuck, what a show that would be.
From Rich.
The Price is Right.
Rich Harris 0269 on Twitter. Ryback, if you had to drive cross country with one of the following people, who would it be? Zach Ryder, Simon Gotch, or the heater Mark Carano?
Mark Carano, 100%.
He'd be your pick?
Yeah, 100%. As much shit as I give Mark Carano, I actually enjoyed being around him. And he's a douchebag, straight up. But he knows he's a douchebag. His fucking wife left him before they got married. He's a piece of shit. But I've had conversations with him on multiple occasions, and I've drank a bottle of Jack with him at the fucking hotel bar, and he knows the dealio. I 100% fucking Mark Carano.
All right.
I told Dolph, when they're in town for SmackDown, they're going to be in Vegas here like in the next week or 10 days, beginning of September sometime. Because I just saw my good buddy Dolph Ziggler this last week. He came into Vegas for an appearance, and we went to Hooters. I posted it on Instagram, and caught up with him, and which he'll probably get buried next week after this comes out, but no different than anything he's done. But and we talked about life on the independents and everything going on, and but they allow him to make a good amount of money and do good for himself out there, even though he should. I just think he should be used in a far greater capacity. But I was telling him, I go, let's get Carano, me and Neil Carano go to the strip club. I'll pay for everything. But secretly, I'll get Carano to pay for everything by the end of the night. So I would be all for it. I have no, like, I told everyone all the time, like, I have my personal feelings on everything, and I'm very angry over things. But, like, I don't hate the WWE. I know I can make them a shit ton of money, and they know I can make them a shit ton of money. So it's just fucking funny because I can make money doing my own thing. But it's, Gotch, I don't have no desire. And what was the other one?
Ryder.
Yeah, goddamn. Fuck. I just don't. I would probably shoot myself before that got to that point. So Carano for sure.
From the same person, Rich Harris, 0269. Pat Buck, have you thought about since you're becoming a body guy, will you go back to trunks? Let the people see the muscles, bro. I've thought about that, but I'm going to keep with my current outfit just to be a little different.
What is your preference to wrestle in? If you could, like, not gimmick or character or anything aside,
trunks.
What do you really?
Yeah, because I hate to sweat so much, and I feel freer, and I can, dude. Kicking high is more restricted in long tights. Like, it's to me, it is at least. I notice that I can't kick as high as I can wearing long tights. I don't know.
I hated my Ryback run in OVW with the long tights. It was very restricting, and they fall around your waist. And again, maybe I didn't have the right cut tights. Mm-hmm. They didn't sit, like, they would always fall down my waist, and I couldn't get them to. They wouldn't sit right ever. And like, I have my big goddamn fucking quads. They wanted. It was an awkward thing. But for me, I love singlets. I think that throws the amateur thing in there a little bit, and it's like, I don't know. Trunks, I don't mind. Trunks are better for showing off the body, but God damn it, if I'm going into a battle, I don't want to be wearing just underwear.
Good point. I don't like trunks anymore because I feel like most guys wear them. That's just my thing.
Just imagine UFC wearing trunks.
Yeah,
it's really. I tried. I was thinking that the other day. I was like, man, like, because why wouldn't they wear trunks if it? But I think the biker shorts or the shorts, there's no difference in your range of motion. So that's one thing wrestling. Like, well, why the fuck are we showing our dicks still? God damn it, you must show the dick.
From the Mizzo 1 on Twitter, I'm trying to cut calories using 2 meal replacement protein shakes per day. Any tips?
Hopefully you're using ISO Hungry. I don't think it's a bad thing at all using meal replacements, as long as I don't know. That's something actually with the whole Feed Me More Nutrition with aspartame and sucralose. I was really big back in the day. Maybe you remember those metrics meal replacements that came in the box?
I remember the ones. Were they 100 grams of carbs or no?
I don't know if they were 100 grams of carbs, but they were like They were balanced appropriately with protein, carbs, and fats.
Okay.
It was, and it had all the vitamins and minerals.
Was it in a white wrapper?
Yeah.
I remember once, dude, one of the first shows I ever worked on, I hurt my ribs, and Balls Mahoney comes up to me and goes, "Here you go." And he gives me 2 pills, and he goes, "Drink a full Gatorade and eat a whole Metrix bar when you take those." I'm like, okay. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but that's what I remember it from.
Great advice. That's a lot of sugar, which would explain his physique at the time if that was his regular routine. No, but a lot of those have aspartame and sucralose in those, so I would say stay away from them. You're better off taking a multivitamin twice a day and just going with a whey protein isolate that's sweetened with stevia, whether it's ISO Hungry or not. But I dare you to find a better tasting one and better quality digesting one. But yeah, that's actually something I got to look into for Feed Me More Nutrition. But it's nothing wrong with doing that. I just if you have no problem using aspartame or sucralose, which you should. But yeah, other than that, that's it.
I got a question.
From TK Moss, what was the best catering you ever had at WWE?
Trying to think of the one. Whenever they had filet mignon,
okay.
that was always a lot of guys like the breakfast after a pay-per-view. They'd have breakfast for lunch and dinner usually, which was never bad by any means. I always enjoyed it. But when they'd have a nice fucking cut of filet in there, Ooh, that's tough to beat. That and a nice salad, a little feta cheese with Rusev. Me and him were happy campers.
From Robert J1 on Twitter. What are Big Guy's thoughts?
Questions.
Yeah, a lot of questions. What are Big Guy's thoughts on European promotions like WCPW?
Love them. I think that it's great. The more wrestling promotions, the better. I would love to work for them. If they would, I know they reached out early on, and I think we were booked on whatever the date was, and or it was overlooked. I would love to go out and do some business with them. I think we could. Some of those guys over there, like Osprey and Sabre, there's some good, really cool matchups that we have waiting down the line. So hopefully, we could do some business.
From Barrett Stout on Twitter, would you consider releasing a creatine? If so, what kind? Thanks. Once
the brand is at a level where I have my 8 or 9 supplements that I need to get out there. Once those are out and running and everything is at a level that I'm comfortable at, I would look into that, where I could start things like glutamine and creatine and trying to find ways to kind of tap into that with the brand. But it's such an oversaturated market on that. All my formulas are different, which is why I'm having success right now with them. And creatine, it's really hard to be different with just creatine, but Crealkaline is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. That doesn't have the bloat and doesn't cause the cramps or anything like that. So, but I would look into possibly doing a creatine with more than several different types of creatines in it, and it's just not yet. It's within the next couple of years for sure, though.
All right, 2 more questions from Michael White.
I got a question.
I've never heard of this guy on Twitter before.
Mike White, what's up, buddy? Shout out to Mike White. He's been a supporter from day one.
How can I build huge delts?
Again, it's just when you're training naturally, I think the key is you have to train the muscle under a significant amount of weight, and whatever that amount of weight is for you, you have to continuously improve on that. And when you can only get so much from lifting a certain amount of weight, muscle grows from stress, and you have to condition it every week, even whether it's going up 1 pound per week or 1 pound every 2 or 3 weeks or every month. Just continuously push yourself to lifting more weight. The best rep range to do that in is the 4 to 6 rep range, and for as far as just growing muscle. Now, if you're going into fighting or anything, you need to be doing more high rep training. We're not talking about that. We're just strictly talking about developing muscle. 4 to 6 reps at a weight that you can finish 4 to 6 reps at as heavy as you can, and without hurting yourself, and growing on that weight week after week. And shoulder exercises, shoulder presses, you got your side lateral movements, raises, and just different things. It all comes down to the amount of weight you're lifting, essentially, with good form and stressing that muscle. So it's there's a gazillion shoulder exercises. They all work. You really need to push yourself physically and try to increase on the weight every week.
From Ado Moonboot 7, last question: when will Pat Buck versus Ryback be booked?
I think we just talked about this, me and you, this past week.
Did we? I don't know.
You said if the crowd was over 400 and whatever for the for the first night, that because I go, is Hawkins available for me to squash the first night?
And I said if it's over 400 people, I'll gladly volunteer to get in there and take a few bumps.
No, I would never want to wrestle you.
I
really would, but I would, because I would want to put in time with you and just I don't know, from a competitive standpoint, it'd be a lot of fun.
Sure would. And that is the
let you do your shitty fucking rolling spot, and I'd boot your head off.
Johnny Saint spot, shoot me off, up and over, couple arms.
That's the cutoff. That's the cutoff. I swear to God, if we ever work, that's the cutoff spot. Watch. But that's it.
But that's conclusion for our questions.
All right, we'll go ahead. We'll do the tips of the week here, and we'll go ahead. We'll take a break after that and come back with our main event. Tips of the week. Yay! Match of the week this week, guys, was AR Fox versus a guy I actually wrestled over at Rev Pro with. I didn't work him, but David Starr was a really nice guy, and I caught one of their matches, and I really enjoyed it. And that was my match of the week. This week, book of the week, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. And this book deals with gratitude and the power of being thankful for everything. Great book. You've read that one, right, Pat?
Yeah, I do. I have it on my mantle.
And they give you a lot of examples in that book of different ways to be thankful. And it really helped me a lot when that one came out. Quote of the week. The opposite of love is not hate, it is indifference. By Ellie Wiesel. Or Wiesel.
Elliot Wiesel.
Is it Wiesel?
Wiesel, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
I think I read that in 8th grade.
Just repeating. What are you knocking me for my quotes now?
No, sorry.
Wait, are you drunk?
I had one glass of wine. If I am, that's pathetic.
I'm not safe at all. Well, I feel like that's all right. Nutrition tip of the week, guys. If you struggle with junk food, don't fill your house with it. You feel when you put junk food in your house, and you go buy bags of chips or different things and whatnot, and you shop in the moment. When you have them at your house, you feel obligated to eat it, and you usually will. So don't do that, because the worst thing you'll see, well, I bought those 5 bags of Flaming Hot Cheetos. I gotta eat them. I don't want to throw the money away. Well, don't buy them. Buy better quality food. And it's a simple thing, but you'd be shocked at how many people do this. Workout tip of the week. This is what we talked about this week. I put this as my workout tip, Pat. Avoid neck bridges. Mm-hmm. It wreaks havoc on your disc and your nerves in your neck. That's an old school wrestling thing. And I got this because I saw on your Snapchat you were recording the guys.
I was making 30 people do neck bridges.
And I cringed when I saw it, and I go, God damn it, I got to message him on this. It is the worst thing for your neck, and it's an old school, it's an outdated thing. A lot of it, straight up, it will build your neck muscles. But you could get the same exact benefit from doing a neck machine without putting all that weight on your disc and your nerves. Because when you put all your body weight on your neck and go back, yes, you're working your muscles, but at the expense of your joints, your disc, and your nerves. And I know this from personal experience. Trust me, talk to your doctor on it. It's a fucking stupid move, and it has no business anymore. There's zero benefit to it for wrestlers. Use a neck machine. You can get the strength that you need from a neck machine and not put all that stress on your body. And it's just one of those things that was, at the time, they didn't know better, but we know better now. So knock that shit off, guys. It's not good for you. And that's the tips of the week.
All right.
We'll go ahead. We'll take a break right here, guys, and we'll be right back with our main event. The following advertisement has been paid for by the big guy Ryback. Are you hungry? You know I'm so hungry, big guy. Hey, Mark, what brings you here? So I'm just here to hang out with my all-time favorite superstar of all time. What brings you here? Well, I'm doing a paid advertisement for Feed Me More Nutrition, available at feedmemore.com. Big guy, that is music to my ears. Did you tell the people about your Ice So Hungry grass-fed whey protein isolate, the best tasting protein on the market? Wake up unlimited energy, the strongest pre-workout on the market, and the big guy all-natural testosterone booster, my personal fave. Big guy, you're on to something with this Feed Me More Nutrition. It is some top quality stuff. Well, thank you, Mark. It is. Feed Me More Nutrition. Premium, quality, the highest quality supplements on the market today. Available now at feedmemore.com. But wait, there's more. Just for being a listener of Conversation with the Big Guy, you can now save 10%. That's right. Save 10% at feedmemore.com on all Feed Me More merchandise and apparel and Feed Me More Nutrition with discount code PODCAST10. PODCAST10. Podcast 10. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following segment is your main event of the podcast.
And we're back, and it's time for our main event tonight. We have a very special main event tonight. The Vinny Awards, Pat. What are your thoughts on this?
First off, why don't you explain what the Vinny Awards are? Because I don't particularly know exactly how to explain it.
These are the Vince McMahon Awards, essentially, of in categories that only Vince wants.
All about physiques.
And it's all about the physique. It's we'll run down the list here that we have and the format of this main event. Me and Pat will give our top 2 or 3 choices for each category, and we will agree upon one winner for the official Vinny Award for that category. The categories are Best Lean Physique, Best Freak Physique, Best Big Guy Physique, Best Legs, Most Androgynous, Best Hair, Best Veins, Flattest Ass, and then the Best Non-Gas or Non-Gas Best Physique, or just Non-Gas Physique that you chose, I believe, on that one, right?
That was my pick, yeah.
A guy that you know has not been, because on this list, a lot of guys have used performance-enhancing drugs. And we're in an era where, for the majority of guys, that is not the case. But they have an asterisk by their name one way or another. So,
all right. How do you want to start this off? What category are we going to do?
I was going to say we start off with the Best Lean Physique.
Best Lean Physique.
Do you have 3 choices for that?
I do. So, why don't you... I'll start with my first one. Obviously, you probably have the same one, but I'm going to start with probably the most well-known lean physique ever in wrestling would be Ravishing Rick Rude.
He was my number 3. Hell of a lean physique. And it was he made the list, and I think you can't have it without him. Who'd you have for your number 2?
My number 2 would be formerly Johnny Nitro, formerly John Morrison, formerly...
Ooh, I forgot all about
John
him.
Hennigan, currently, or formerly Johnny Mundo. Now he's currently Johnny Impact. Whatever name you want to call him, but John Morrison, now Johnny Impact. I feel like he has a ideal lean physique.
Very lean physique. I went with Randy Orton for my number 2 lean physique. When he's not now, this was back during another period, but he's still lean to this day. So who'd you go with your number 1?
I got 2 in this category. Actually, I didn't put this in order.
Two number ones?
Not number ones. I just kind of listed the ones who I thought I could nominate.
Okay. All right. We're doing this on air live, guys. We're going to come to a conclusion to get the number 1.
Yeah, we'll justify who the winner is. I have Wade Barrett at his... do you have him too?
He's my number 1 as well.
Christ.
Yeah.
Old Bananas Barrett.
Banana and Coffee Barrett. He that period before he decided to leave, there might not have been a better physique. He... Leg-wise, maybe not. He was always lean in the legs. He always had actually good-sized quads for how tall he was. He was shredded, and I mean for that to him at that size to be that shredded and that might be. I think it's the all-time best personally, and they missed the boat entirely on all that because the guy could fucking go.
The other nominee I had here, a guy more my size, and Rob Conway, when he was doing his, he was shredded beyond belief.
Shredded and looked great, hell of a tan. Still is to this day. Still competes, and I like Rob's a great human being. So, personally. And as we know, there's politics involved in judging in all different aspects of bodybuilding, and especially for the Vinnies. Personally, number 1, I feel it should be Wade Barrett.
Well, we got to judge this based on who Vince would think, correct? These are the Vinnies.
Yeah, the Vinnies. But I still think Wade, the most recent, and to do it in the era that he did it in, I think, and you look at his height, he has all the qualities that Vince would love.
You made up a good point. In the natural era, he was lean.
And, at a whole other level.
Yeah. All right, why the fuck not? He seems like a good guy.
God damn it! Wade Barrett's our winner for the best lean physique. All right, moving
Next
on.
category.
Best freak physique.
Alrighty. You start this off.
I put my number 3 Ultimate Warrior. I thought he really started that trend and put it on the map of that freaky physique.
I had for my number 3 the Warlord.
I have him on another category, so it's that nothing wrong with that one at all. Number 2, I put Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. Scott Steiner, holla if you hear me.
He was my number 2 as well.
Number 1, no surprise here. I walk alone in all aspects of life, and Big Dave, you came in at number 1. Height, size, vascularity, just a freak altogether. Big Dave Batista, number 1 of the best freak physique in my opinion.
Wow, my number 1 freak physique. See, I don't know. Wait, you also have a big guy muscle physique, correct? Or is that a different one?
I best big guy physique, which is muscle physique.
You know what?
Yes,
I'm gonna change that up. I'm gonna have to agree with you because I'm removing my number 1 to put him in that category. Big.
I go by veins because freaks are size and veins.
I'm going with Big Dave. Big Dave's the winner.
That's hands down number 1,
Hands
correct?
down.
Yeah, Big Dave, you're the winner for the fucking Vinny Awards for best freak physique. Congratulations, Big Dave. You deserve it. All right. Next category, best big guy physique.
And the nominees are?
Number 3 for myself, I picked Nathan Jones.
Oh, wow. That's a random one. Okay.
I knew you weren't going to be expecting that, but if you truly look how tall he was, and he was all jacked up and all on all the good stuff.
So height is a factor in this, or it's not?
Kind of is a little bit. I wanted to put myself in this category. I didn't. I refrained, guys, for 1 week of putting myself over. I really, really wanted to, though, but I didn't.
I had Hunter in this, old Triple H.
Wait, for best big guy
I would
physique?
think so, right?
He's like one of those weird mix. One of the all-time greatest bodies in wrestling when he was all gassed up. But it's fucking. I don't know what category he falls in because he was very vascular, but he wasn't. His weight was down, so I had trouble putting him in the best freak physique, best lean physique because he was so big. He was outside of those lean guys.
He was freak when he came back for Royal Rumble 2000.
Yeah, but I had trouble putting him in that best big guy, even though he was. If you're going by that period right there, okay, I accept that for best big guy physique because he was heavier then.
You might have.
Was that MSG
that was
right there?
MSG.
Yeah. When he had that fucking sweet leather fucking jacket with the fucking jean fucking pant fucking deal, right?
You know who? Good. Yeah. I don't know if you said. How many are you up to?
I got to do my number 2. I put Brock Lesnar for best big guy physique when he was at his freakiest, and overall, I thought it was a well-developed best big guy physique.
I'm going to pull a wild card here. I don't know if this is the right category, but I think so. Mason Ryan.
Yeah, that's especially too, and he lives in Vegas. Actually, he works.
He has a real job, real nice, important job.
Is it Cirque du Soleil? How the fuck?
Cirque du Soleil.
How do you pronounce it? I fuck it up every time. Much like I do one of our categories for this later
Androgynous.
Androgynous. I'd be like, wait, that's not the correct way to pronounce that word. I'm thinking of gyno. Androgynous. My number 1 pick on this, and I feel just height, thickness, muscle mass was the Warlord for best big guy physique overall. But that was just my opinion. So we have obviously different choices. I will say,
I didn't say my number 1 yet. I don't know if we're picking yet.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
One,
I was sorry.
Tony Atlas. No, you don't count that?
No. He was definitely phenomenal physique. I'm just trying to think, and this is a really tough category here because I'm not in it. if we're going to go with anyone and to show there's no ill feelings, when Hunter came back in MSG, he was all jacked up. He was at a higher weight level, and I don't know, that was a cool moment, that period. Fuck, I don't know. What is your take on number one on this?
If we're going through the eyes of Vince, or I don't know, man, I'm leaning towards Hunter too.
If you're going through the eyes of Vince, I mean, the goddamn guy's your son-in-law. It's hard. Politics definitely play a role in this, guys. Triple H, congratulations. You're the winner of the best big guy physique. All right, moving on. Best legs.
The best category. All right.
Yeah. God damn it. Look at those quads. Who do you have for number three?
Number three is a weird one. Even though it was only a small time period, we might
have the same one, actually.
Okay, so there was a time where Rob Van Dam and ECW had insane legs. Although,
really,
there was a good 6 months to a year where it was really disturbing how big his legs were, and then they just went away. But I don't know why that stuck out in my head. So
typically a sign of steroid usage.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
Nothing wrong with it. Everyone's done them at one point or another. And not everyone, but a lot of wrestlers. So, and Rob's fucking awesome. So, yeah, I have to see that. I'm gonna look that up. I don't remember that. So, I picked my number three, the Shane twins, the Gemini twins. They had enormous quads. Have you ever seen them in person?
Yeah, just at the strip club. Yeah, but I'm not looking at their legs.
But like they're in pants. I'm talking about in tights.
Never.
Vince loved their quads. They had big meaty thighs, and Vince fucking loved all of it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Number two
on my list is Big E. I went with Big E.
I did not put him. I think. Size-wise, he has big quads, but separation-wise, his body fat's a little higher. And I love Big E, and I think he has an incredible physique in the natural era. But the body fat is a little higher. And I went with Randy Orton in his prime. He's always, no matter what, Orton's always had fucking big shredded quads.
That's true, very true.
Even when he lost weight and was thin, his quads were still fucking. He's got good quads on him, and. He knows it.
My number one is a very rare choice. Doug Furness.
Wasn't expecting that.
Weird pick, power lifter, but it just always stood out to me. He had a hell of a drop kick too. His legs were.
I have to watch that.
Doug Furness, insane legs. If you Google him, you'll be like, wait, what? Like that's like the one thing that did stand out on him, even though he was a power lifter. Where his legs were insane, and he was very functional too in his wrestling.
I went with my number one, The Rock. I think he always had shredded hamstrings, and even when his stomach was a little flabby, his quads were always big and shredded, I thought. And I think if you're Vince,
you got to go with that.
These are the Vinny Awards. God damn it, the guy's a success. And are you cool with that?
I'm cool with that. I think that I'm mad I didn't think of it.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, in which WWE just trademarked your name for more clothing. You are the winner of best legs. God damn it! They don't discriminate against anybody on those goddamn trademarks. All right, next category: most androgynous physique.
How do you define this? Like most,
it's really funny to me. This is just the Vinnies, man. This is what we do. Me and Vince had a phone call this week, and we. I'm joking, everybody, but in my mind, we did for these. And these are his choices.
But how do we explain this? So it's just a physique that Vince would look at and be like, "Oh, he's androgynous." Is that it?
That. He's not gay. He's not straight. He's androgynous. He's the best of both worlds.
Okay, got
it. I don't know. I have no fucking clue how you describe this. I just know Goldust from the Pritchard Show. That's what triggered this for the Vinnies for me. So thanks, Bruce and Conrad.
Podcast of the sports podcast of the year. Congratulations to them.
Is that a real thing? Do they really get podcasts?
They won the goddamn award. They're a big deal.
That is, congratulations. I can't. It's one of the podcasts. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, and I listened to that one. And Conrad actually messaged me this week over something.
Sweet.
So it's which I downloaded Twitter to check my messages. Thank God, right before one of my big dates. And I told him, I go, thank God I downloaded this. Because it was something very important. So it's yeah, man, congratulations. They know what they're doing over there. So all right, who do you got for number 3, Pat?
My number 3 is Buff Bagwell. I feel like that time when he came over for that one match with Booker T, Vince just looked at him and was like, "Oh, this is the guy. This is the like." I picked Buff.
All right, he wasn't on my list. I went with Goldust for number 3. Who do you got for number 2?
My number 2 is the adorable one, Adrian Adonis. Even though it's not so much of a physique, but boy, was he androgynous.
Very much so. And number 2, and mostly because they have dressed him up as a woman so many times, is Tyler Breeze. I don't know what the goddamn deal is, but they keep dressing him up as a fucking woman. And there has to be something to it. And this can't be made up, guys. This category is not random. But he's dressed up so often. I just really, part of me thinks that there might be something there with him and Vince.
It looks great in a wig.
Tyler, if you want to push, do it.
My number 1's a really weird one. And it's based on the whole cranky Vince persona, where he was obsessed with a particular talent that he'd always kind of be looking at, winking at, and kind of hitting on.
Really?
And this was Billy Kidman.
That would explain why Kidman's sitting so high in that goddamn company. I always look, and Billy's talented as fuck. But I was always, I like Billy Kidman a lot, and I don't want to get him any heat, but man, fuck. I didn't know that.
Cranky Vince loved Kidman.
Which was supposedly from an inside source,
had
right?
To be, man. There was so much funny stuff.
What if that was Vince himself doing this? Just fucking.
Then he's a genius.
I don't put anything past anything. I really think it. Vince was like, God damn it, I want to be a part of this social media and have fun like everybody else. I'm going to create a fake account of myself, and just because those insights were so goddamn accurate. I feel like I went with number 1, one of my good buddies, Dolph Ziggler. He's just long blonde haired babe.
So,
all right, we have different choices here.
I think Tyler Breeze. I don't know, man. I think he'd get the pick.
I was going to go with Kidman because of the thing, but I think Tyler Breeze is hilarious because he's the only one that is dressed up like a woman on multiple occasions.
For no reason.
And for no reason. This is a really, really weird thing. And I really wonder, why the fuck are they making him dress up like a woman? And because it's not like it wasn't him one week and then Fandango the next. It was him every week.
I think recently too. Since the last time we talked about it, there was another woman thing.
Yeah, it's like there's some sort of running thing with that where God damn it, can we get Breeze in another dress? So Tyler Breeze, congratulations. You are the most androgynous WWE or professional wrestler ever. Stay tuned for your Vinny. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and go with best hair.
Best hair. Okay, I only got 2 for this. Let me see if I can think of another one. God damn it.
I got 3. You want? I'll start it off here. I went because and God bless him, and he's coming out on top with everything. Ric Flair, I think his hair has stood the test of time, and there's been a lot of bleach put in that fucking scalp, Pat. And granted, he's gotten older. The hair's not what it was, but it's still there. And that's through all the bleaching and all the damage and all the stress and all the wrestling. And goddamn it, he's the fucking nature boy, and he's the fucking man. Woo!
I went with HBK pre 1990 or even 2000. His hair was still pretty strong.
How long of a run did he have with a full head of hair?
Pretty long. I feel like it went in his early 40s, maybe. And even then, he hit it pretty well.
He had a long enough run with it to definitely make the list. I went with my number 2, and he has a hell of a set of hair, and I feel he fits in perfectly with the Vinnies based on how he's been booked, is Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
And
great hair.
But he has not stood the test of time in the stress of being up there, and I need to see him up there a few more years before I can put him at a higher ranking.
This one's a really random one. I don't even know. You may know who this is. You may not. Do you know who Tom McGee is?
Not off the top of my head.
So Tom McGee was a very legendary story. After Hogan, Tom McGee came along, and apparently Vince and everyone was convinced this guy could be the next Hogan. So he's a really tall guy, apparently like 6'4", 6'5", bodybuilder physique. He had like kind of like Kenny Omega hair, but like very curly and out there.
Yeah.
Backflips. He was just the prototype for, like, you saw his look and you're like, wow, that guy's a star. And Bret Hart had an amazing match with him one time, and after that, nobody could have a good match with him, and they didn't do anything with him. Like, they let him go.
Really?
So he's a legend in that nobody to this day, apparently, Cole Cabana had this on his podcast, has seen. No, there's no footage of this Tom McGee match with Bret Hart because everybody wants to see it, because every match, this like iconic, this guy's gonna be the next literally they said he's gonna be the next Hogan. Nobody has seen that match, but Tom McGee I put for best hair. He had great head of hair.
That match has to exist somewhere in WWE in Stanford. I'm gonna message some of my contacts over there that I have deeper within the office that I still talk to, and see if I can get that.
If you find that, that's a real gem, because nobody has seen it.
That'd be a real hit on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna work on this. Got to make some messages here tomorrow. I went my number 1, and I was a huge fan of him growing up. Number 1, I thought he had the coolest hair, and he still has it. Razor Ramon.
Ah, good choice.
Hey yo, shout out to the bad guy. Chico. So yeah, what do you think for number 1 best hair for the Vinny
That's
Awards?
the one I couldn't figure one out.
He's the guy. That's it. The bad guy. Congratulations, Razor Ramon. You're number 1 for best hair on the Vinny Awards. You deserve it, pal. All right. Next category, best veins. It's any part of the body.
All right.
Who do you got for your number 3?
I think the obvious choice would be current champion Jinder.
All right. He actually made my number 1 choice just due to this era and how he got around that.
True.
But he's definitely extremely vascular right now. I put number 3 Lex Luger. I thought he was extremely vascular for the majority of his career.
It was. Number 2, we might have the same number 2. Then again, I know this because you told me what it was beforehand, because I didn't know who to put for this. Cena, number 2.
Yeah, number 2. And not necessarily right now, but during different points of his career when he was a full-timer. So he's always been extremely vascular due to whatever the secret formulas he has Rob McIntyre making him, but that's a shoot. I'll put that on my YouTube channel. But yeah, no, that's who do you think number 1 on that? I'm prone to go with Jinder Mahal over all of it, just because of he's the most recent and he's extreme. His legs aren't as vascular necessarily. Maybe they are. I don't know. They don't come, but his upper body is extremely vascular. Is there
a secret to getting vascularity in your legs? Like, I can't get one goddamn leg vein. Is there a thing to that? Or just training the same way?
A lot of it. Well, drugs and genetics. Okay. It's honestly it really I look at it like this. Look at Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. Those motherfuckers are putting in extreme hours of conditioning training. Right? And they have some veins, right? But they look like healthy, normal guys, right?
Absolutely.
And they're drug tested stricter than anybody, and they and genetics differ a little bit from person to person, but they have natural physiques, and that's what you look like, and they're smaller. So we'll leave it at that. It's extremely hard. You can get veins, you can get them. It's really those veins that bulge out all over your legs like that. It's typically, now that's not to say you can't be 130 pounds or 160 pounds, but to have some size on you and have those veins, that's another story.
Okay.
For not to say 100% of the time, but more often than not.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and that's the truth on the situation. So, but I'm going to go with
I had one other person.
I'm going with gender. Oh, go ahead.
Spider-Man, Macho Man. Old Bonesaw. Randy Savage post the age of 40. WCW. What's up, Mach? Was pretty fucking vascular.
I loved that song. Loved Gorgeous George with him, and Bonesaw was fucking shredded during the. But I think these are the Vinnies, and we're going. I think to go from essentially the role that he was in to the role that he's in now, based on his veins. God damn it, Paul! Look at those veins. I think Jinder Mahal's had the biggest turnaround in a career based on veins alone.
I concur. Jinder, you just won a Vinny.
Congratulations, my friend. All right. Next category. Before we go to our last, I'm going to go. I don't have a list for this. You brought this up to me. You have a non-gas category.
Yeah, I thought about it. Who would he like that he knew was just a natural athlete? And that's hard to.
No questions. Never put any steroids in their body whatsoever.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead and name your. I'm going to let you name your guys, and I'm going to see. The only guy that I can, off the top of my head, is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, are the two that I feel like never have put anything in their bodies.
I feel like number 3 for me would be Arn Anderson. I don't think Double A ever put anything in.
Really?
That's kind of what I think. I really do.
Has he gone on record of stating
he
that?
Has
or
said
no?
that in his book that he got up to a 400-pound bench press and he never took anything.
You know what? Fuck. I'm going to believe Double A on that then, because he has no reason to lie on that. That's all right.
My number 2 would be Pat Patterson.
Okay.
And my number 1 would be Bruno Sammartino.
I'm from reading Backlund's book and meeting Bruno, and this is a tough one for me. It comes down to Bruno and Double A. I like both men tremendously. Who are you leaning towards for number 1?
Bruno had an impressive. Arn looked like a fighter,
but
Bruno still had a great physique despite all that. He was I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not looking at it from how they were booked or anything, because Arn, and if you look at how much Arn, what he's contributed to the business, it's really tough. Personally, I'm leaning. I like both men. Physique wise, Bruno maybe has the edge, but maybe overall in contribution wise, it's Arn is Vince's right hand man on a lot of things. Which way are you leaning on this? I really want double.
Let's just give it Double A. Why not?
Double A, congratulations. You're the fucking winner. You just got yourself a Vinny Award. You deserve it, pal. I want Double A to have that. I like Double A a lot, man. I really do. He's always been good to me. All right. Last category. Maybe the only, I guess this is perceived as a negative category. We didn't do best ass. We did flattest ass. And, I think we had a lot of positives in this. But why not? Let's throw a curveball in there. Flattest ass. Who do you got?
Number 3, Yoshi Tatsu. Incredibly flat ass.
I actually had him as my number 1.
Man.
But it's all right because I'm open. This is just we're talking live on air. We're figuring this all out. I put number 3 Trevor Murdoch, and I don't know if I couldn't I couldn't remember if he had a flat ass or not, but I only had 2 off the top of my head when I did this list. Everything else was really easy for me. This one, and it's not like you can Google flat male asses. Nothing comes up. Just they put divas up. So it's a really tough thing to do my homework on. But I feel like Trevor Murdoch had a flat ass. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. But he was my number 3. So,
But number 2 was it's probably on your list too. I don't want to. I know it has to be on your list.
Great Khali.
Yep, number 2 for me.
Number 2 for me also was a Great Khali. Hell of a flat ass.
My number 1,
like two boards just fucking hammered into his fucking hip bones.
My number 1 is Mick Foley.
Does Mick have a flat ass? I've never looked that closely. I don't. He's always wearing like
I'm pretty sure. Do I Google this? I thought Mick always did have.
I don't know if Mick has a flat ass.
I thought that was his thing.
He's a big guy. Is he? I don't. He always has the fucking flannel covering his like, and he's always in like sweatpants. How would you?
Mick Foley flat ass. I'm Googling.
I'm sure I'll be in a locker room with him here someday. We were on the Independence.
See, I thought he said in his book that his body was ideal for bumping because his ass was flat and his or was it? I don't know. I thought Mick.
He might. I'm not going to doubt. No, I always imagine skinnier guys, but maybe Mick would know better than any. If you read that, I'm not going to argue with it at all.
Let me text him real quick.
Are you going to really text him? Oh, okay. Jesus Christ.
I can't.
It's a little much, I thought.
It's hard to see his backside, but I'm pretty sure he did.
So my opinion, just because there's a little controversy here with the Mick Foley ass, is I'm gonna go with Great Khali. I think he's recent. He just made an appearance again. Ass was still flat. Clearly not doing the ass blaster machine of the Indian gyms. And Trevor, I'm a little shaky on. I'm not 100% sure. Yoshi, hell of a flat ass. But what do you think about Great Khali?
I think he's fresh on the minds, and I concur. I'm going to go with that as well.
Great Khali, congratulations. You just won yourself a Vinny Award, pal, for flattest ass. Man, hell of a show. I hope we get the first part of the first 45 minutes.
I hope so, too. My God.
Guys, there was an issue on my end where the first 45 minutes appears to possibly be missing, but it was recorded, so we're gonna really, really try to get this. If not, yeah, I'm gonna redo it on my own, and we got 2 hours on this without it, so. But I hate to lose that content. We talked about some good stuff. So, anything else you'd like to close with?
No, Buck Never Stops. Follow me on all platforms.
I'm at Ryback 247 on Snapchat, Ryback 22 on Twitter, and the big guy Ryback 22 on Instagram. Guys, thank you very much for listening. You have just listened to another episode of Conversation with the Big Guy.